Autumn has arrived in New England. It's sunny and 62, and we're in Foxborough Stadium for the winless Chicago Bears against the undefeated New England Patriots. Hi again, everyone, with Jerry Glanville. This is Kevin Harlan. Of course, this Patriot team went to the Super Bowl a season ago, and Jerry, they've made some changes, but when you take a look at what they've got this year as opposed to what they had last year, what do you see?
What I see, Kevin, watching film, I think they have better talent this year than the team that went to the Super Bowl. They improved both lines. On defense, they went and got Henry Thomas from the Detroit Lions, maybe as good a nose tackle as there is in football. And on offense, they get Zephros Moss to move in and tackle, which allows them to take Max Lane, a tackle that struggled in the Super Bowl, and move him, and he's a good guard.
The Chicago Bears are making all the wrong kind of headlines. In fact, this is a team which has been stung by injury. They have lost at least one starter over the last 4 weeks. And last week, of course, Rashaan Salam, their star running back, going out with a broken right ankle. He's gone for the whole year. And today, no Marty Carter, bad elbow. He is out for at least a week. So when you take a look at those changes and you see the difference at quarterback now with Rick Mirer starting in place of Eric Kramer, how do you read Chicago?
Well, you got to look at Chicago and say, forget about all the injuries, Kevin. The injuries don't matter. Forget about who's playing quarterback. What the Chicago Bears are all about is Raymond Harris. Raymond Harris has to pound that football. He's the only chance they have to run the ball, keep the clock, win the game.
It reminds me of the Denver game last year where
Absolutely.
They went to Raymond Harris. All right, the Chicago Bears with Rick Mirer against Drew Bledsoe and the New England Patriots. We're back to Foxborough after these messages. Spectacular day for football here in Foxborough Stadium, Foxborough, Massachusetts, with Jerry Glanville. This is Kevin Harlan. Dave Wannstedt now in his 5th year as the coach of the Bears. He's been 9-7 twice, 7-9 twice. And there's the former defensive coordinator for San Francisco, former head coach with the Jets. First year replacing Bill Parcells is Pete Carroll with New England. Adam Vinatieri sets to kick off to Tyrone Hughes. New England at 3-0. The Bears at 0-3. And here we go from Foxborough. Taken at the 1 by Tyrone Hughes, the former New Orleans Saint. And he busts free and then finally is brought down at the 27-yard line with a nice special teams tackle, Chris Canny. It's a return of 27 yards. And we get our first look at Rick Mirer. The Bears traded a #1 pick to Seattle to get him, 3-year, $10 million contract. And he's got a patchwork offensive line that he'll be working behind today. But Jerry, with Mirer, they think they'll get more mobility. He'll add a new dimension to the offense.
With that, I think you can watch for more bootlegs and more rollouts, more sprints.
On their own 27, the quick count, and the call goes to Raymond Harris, who takes it up to the 30-yard line for a gain of 3. Now that offensive line, they are -2 starters, Todd Perry and Chris Valerio, and they have had to get some new people in there. And they include Schultz along with Pilgrim on the interior. Heck is at 1 tackle, and James Big Cat Williams didn't practice until Friday this week. Harris is coupled with Carter, who takes the place of Rashaan Salam. Ingram and Prohl replaces Curtis Conway, and the tight end is Keith Jennings. 2nd down and 7. There's a pulling lineman, and there goes Raymond Harris for a gain of about 2 yards, setting up 3rd down and about 5. Ted Johnson makes the stop for the New England Patriots. For such a long time, this was a base 34 defense. Now they switched last year. Jones, Thomas, who comes from Detroit, Wheeler, and Ferrick Collins on the line. Linebackers, good ones. Collins, Ted Johnson, a beauty, and Chris Slade had 3 sacks last week. Hitchcock and Law are the cornerbacks. In the middle, Willie Clay along with Lawyer Malloy. 13th ranked NFL secondary for the Patriots. 3 wide receivers for Chicago. 3rd down and 5 for the Bears on their own 32-yard line. Mirer with great time gets out of the pocket. Jerry just talked about the mobility. A flag has been thrown, and he throws a pass, which is good right now for a 1st down to Ricky Prohl. He picks up 12 yards, but holding on the play, the preliminary call against the Chicago Bears.
And the pass protection broke down like it has in the past, but like you said, Rick Mirer can run. He can scramble. So he'll make some plays by just giving himself more time.
Holding, 64, offense, still 3rd down.
That's the left tackle, Andy Heck.
And one of their best, really one of their best players on the offensive unit is Andy Heck. And he plays left offensive tackle. As you're looking at it, he'll be right here. He's in a 2-point stance rather than a 3. Must have bulldogged him down at the end.
10-yard penalty makes it 3rd down and 15 yards to go. Patriots in a dime secondary. That means they've got 6 defensive backs. And here comes the blitz on Mirer, who's brought down at the sack at the 7-yard line. A blitzing safety, Larry Wiggum, came in and got him.
And that's no pickup by the Chicago Bears. That's not Rick Mirer's fault. You cannot leave people totally untouched, and he'll come here with absolutely nobody picking him up. The whole line was sliding left, and the back went left. You can't do that. If the line slides one way, your running back has to come the opposite way. And so there's a bust with the blocking back. Looked like Tyrone Hughes went left along with the line, and the free man in to get the sack.
Their special teams got on track. Sauerbrunn had a good week, and here's a low line drive wobbly kick taken by the former Giant Dave Meggett from the Chicago 48, and he takes it inside the Chicago 40-yard line. So a 41-yard punt by Sauerbrunn with a 9-yard return by Meggett. The hang time on that one for Sauerbrunn, and that has been a bone of contention, only 3.2 seconds.
Well, they're very fortunate not to have that ball run back on them. Great coverage by the cover people, because that type of punt usually ends up in a touchdown being scored against them.
Start turning soon here in Foxborough with Jerry Glanville, Kevin Harlan. Drew Bledsoe is the #1 rated passer, #1 rated quarterback in the NFL coming into this afternoon's game, and he's got a short field working from the Chicago 39, 1st down and 10. Empty backfield for Bledsoe. Here comes Chicago. Quick throw by Drew. And the pass is caught by Sean Jefferson. He's got a 1st down to the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 11. Bledsoe was the #1 pick in the '93 draft, right ahead of Rick Mirer, #1 rated quarterback right now. And his offensive line has allowed him to be sacked just 1 time, and it's a good one. Armstrong, Lane, Woolabaugh is back, Rucci, and Zephyrus Moss, the longtime veteran with Detroit and Indianapolis. Martin and Byers in the backfield. Jefferson and Terry Glenn is back today, and the great Ben Coates, the tight end. It is a 1st down pass for Bledsoe, who will operate from the shotgun. Martin at his side. 1st and 10. Fake to Martin. There's the quick toss, caught by Coates, who in the open field is grabbed by Anthony Marshall. Comes up from the safety. And is part of a Chicago defense, which will see a lot of rotation among the defensive linemen today. But they'll start Spellman, who's been a disappointment. Simpson, Flanagan, and John Theory. Linebackers today, Cox in the middle, flanked by Ron Cox and Barry Minner. And in the secondary, no Marty Carter. Anthony Marshall will take his place. Mangum at the other safety. Burton takes the place of Walt Harris, and Tom Carter is on the other side. 2nd down and 7 with no score, just minutes into the ball game here in Foxborough. First time we've seen 2 backs. That's Byers and Martin. There go flags, and there goes Bledsoe throwing, and it's caught 2nd time today by Coates. Breaks a couple tackles, has enough for a 1st down to the Chicago Bear 13-yard line as he picks up 12 on the play. But as we mentioned before, flags have been thrown.
But I believe the flag's on the Bears. I think the Bears jumped off sides, so this play will stay.
91, defense, it's declined. 1st down.
It was a nice play. The tight end, Ben Coates, faked a block. He blocked on pass protection, then slid out late. There he was in the flat, and then he made everybody miss him. Here's a guy. Watch him. There's the offsides we're showing you.
So John Theory, who had a good game last week, including a sack of Detroit, is called right there. 1st and 10 pass. 3rd catch made by Ben Coates. He has a 1st down at the 3-yard line of Chicago. 1st and goal to go for New England.
Well, everybody knows Ben Coates can block. Everybody knows he's like a wide receiver in motion. Here's a tight end that plays all over the field. He's a normal tight end in this position, running. That's called a shoot to the sideline. And he's hard to get down after the catch. The last time he made the catch, he made it what you call a void run. Darted around. This time he pounded the guy trying to tackle him.
Coates playing with some bruised ribs he got in the Jet game last Sunday. 1st and goal to go for Drew Bledsoe from the 3-yard line of the Bears, and Coates is in motion. And off to Curtis Martin, and he's swallowed at the 7-yard line. John Theory coming through and making the stop.
And the Bears came after him. The Bears loaded up, brought more people than the Patriots could. Good job by the coaches. You're going to see people blitz. There's the tight end going to motion. That walked up brought 2 people off the weak side. They're on touch. John Thury didn't get blocked, and neither did Brian Cox. Nice play.
Thury, a former #1 pick out of Alcorn State back in '94. Has had some cramps and some things through the early part of this season, but looks hale and hearty today. 2nd down and goal from the 7-yard line with no score.
Blitz, Kevin. He saw it.
Bledsoe read it, and that is great for Chicago's defense because they forced Bledsoe to burn an early game timeout.
Well, he saw it as soon as I did, but he could call timeout. I couldn't.
Patriots on the move, but they just used an early game timeout.
And Chicago Bears had John Mangum. They're going to walk him up. The quarterback sees it, and they eat up one of the New England. There he is. He's on the line. And Drew Bledsoe knew the protection was going the opposite way and knew that was a free runner on his backside, so he called timeout.
No one to block Mangum. So the ball's at the 7-yard line. 2nd down goal. No score early in the game. Bledsoe trips as he goes back to throw and finally finds a receiver, and it's a touchdown for the New England Patriots. Catch made by Terry Glenn, who's missed the last couple games because of an ankle, and Bledsoe throws his 11th touchdown pass of the year. A flag has been thrown, and it was a late flag thrown at the 10-yard line. Johnny Greer is our referee today here in Foxborough.
Holding, 64, offense, still 2nd down.
Center Dave Wollaball.
But Dave Wollaball is back after an ankle injury. He missed the game last week. A little bit rusty. That's a big. He's right in the middle. Sliding off to his left. Wow, I don't know if he's being overpowered. It looked to me like he's getting overpowered. And one thing about Carl Simpson, he's going to play over there. Carl Simpson can overpower anybody that plays football.
Patriots have made their share of mistake. In fact, they've got 3 times as many penalties now as at the same time a year ago. 2nd goal, and the pass caught outside. It's for Vincent Brisby with his 2nd grab today, and he is to the 7-yard line. Well, now it'll be 3rd and goal for the New England Patriots, and of course this was set up by New England's defense, which forced a short Chicago punt. They took over at the 39.
This is John Mangum again, too. He ran up and faked that blitz that made him take a timeout. He goes to the curl, but he lets the wide receiver cross his face, so he's late on that shoot, Kevin. But he was trying to get, he was trying to make Bledsoe call another timeout with the fake blitz. Now they're blitzing. They're coming, Kevin.
3rd down and goal from the 7. Bledsoe looks right into the teeth of that Chicago defense and throws it past, and it's a touchdown reception made by Vincent Brisby.
Well, the blitz forced the Bears to play man-on-man. They had good pressure, but James Burton did not take away the inside route of Vincent Brisby. You have to take away the inside cut when you're blitzing from the inside, and he didn't get it done. That's a corner just starting for the first time, I believe, James Burton.
It looked pretty easy for Bledsoe.
Well, the protection was good. They turned one man loose. They turned a free man, but they turned him way outside, and he just couldn't get there in time before Bledsoe brought that ball out.
Adam Vinatieri has had a perfect season, kicking extra points and field goals, and right now he's 13 of 13 on PATs and 5 of 5 in field goals. In fact, he kicked the overtime field goal last week against the Jets. Early game touchdown by the Patriots. 7-0 New England. Patriots began on the Chicago 39, went in with a 6 of 6 passing display by Drew Bledsoe, 3 catches by Ben Coates, and it's 7-0 the New England Patriots. So the defense of New England forces great field position for their offense as Tyrone Hughes awaits the kickoff from Adam Vinatieri. And the second time we'll get to see the former defensive back from the Saints. And we're going to have to wait one more as that ricochets off his helmet and out of bounds. So they'll go to the 20-yard line where the Bears and Rick Mirer will get it once again. 1st down and 10 yards to go. Let's take another look at the touchdown.
You're going to love what they did here. 36 is going to blitz, making the back come to block him. He has the back, so when he comes, he's the blitzer. Cox has to stay outside to make all this work. Cox slides in a little bit and slows down the blitz. He was the man that would have had to make the sack. When all that's going on, James Burton has to take away all the inside cuts of Vincent Brisby, which he didn't get done.
1st and 10 handoff, and it goes to Raymond Harris. Runs up to the 26-yard line and picks up 6 on the play and make it 2nd down and 4. Here's a guy who, Jerry, watches that money ticker continually click up and up and up. He's a free agent after this season. They need to sign Ramon Harris.
Well, Ramon Harris, he could play for anybody in the National Football League. What Ramon Harris does, though, is straight ahead run. Remember, his first run was sideways. He'll get 6 yards north and south unless a blitz gets him.
Like right there, and the tackle was made behind the line of scrimmage by linebacker Todd Collins. He shot right through.
Well, Collins is an unusual linebacker. He's their best space guy. He's the guy that can run the best, and they're blitzing the linebackers. And it had to be a bust. They had nobody assigned to block that. The centers, probably Pilgrim, should have reached down through there. They had nobody assigned blocking Todd Collins. You can't run the football without somebody assigned to the middle linebacker.
Bears down 7-0. 3rd down and 4 from the 26-yard line. And it's Ramon Harris again. And he'll be short of the 1st down. He needed to get out to the 30. He nudges his way to the 29. Henry Thomas makes the stop, the former Lion and Viking. And it's 4th down, and the punting unit comes on for Chicago. Todd Sauerbrunn had a pretty good week last week against Detroit.
Well, better than what he's been having. And we should tell everybody in Chicago, Friday night he got married. So maybe getting married will help him a little bit. He said his I-do's. Wants us to say hello to his new bride back in Chicago.
You're the Rona Barrett of broadcasters, aren't you? There's a little inside information.
Yeah, man.
Sauerbrunn gets off a beauty. And deep back, Dave Meggett. He breaks a couple tackles, and he takes it out to the 35. He's been playing with a tender hamstring. It's a 45-yard punt and an 8-yard return by Meggett. That punt had a hang time of 4.5. And we'll get another look at Drew Bledsoe. Drew Bledsoe's already thrown an 11-yard touchdown pass today to Vincent Brisby. New England, after one possession, leads at 7-0. Chicago's had it twice. They've punted both times, and this time New England begins at their own 35. Brian Cox zeroing in on Bledsoe's got Martin and Byers in the backfield. 1st down and 10 yards to go. Here comes a possible Cox blitz. It's picked up, and there's the 2nd carry today by Curtis Martin, who is under an avalanche of Chicago defenders. And brought back for a loss of a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 11. Well, they had the tremendous first drive authored by Ben Coates, who caught big pass after they began on the Chicago 39, and Bledsoe was right on the money. He went 6 of 6 during that drive, and then it was capped by an 11-yard touchdown pass as Brisby beat James Burton, who is taking the place of the ineffective Walt Harris, who was benched for today. 2nd down, 11 yards to go. Another handoff, Curtis Martin, who had almost 200 yards rushing last week. He's brought down at the 33. Lonzo Spellman makes the stop on Martin, who is the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. He's carried it now for -6 yards on 3 carries today.
Well, everybody that we talked to on the Chicago Bears said we have to stop Curtis Martin. That's the whole plan, to stop Curtis Martin. Well, that first drive, they only gave him the ball one time, but they're trying to come back on this drive. A nice job of, see how strong Spillman is, just getting a hand on him, pulling him down.
Some concern that he's carrying the ball too much, too. He's at 89 carries now through just a little more than 3 games this year. 3rd down and 12 from the shotgun. Bledsoe flips it off in a congested area. Martin does not get the first down. He's out to the 38-yard line as he picks up 4 yards. Right now from McDonald's Game Break, back to Hollywood and Joe Buck at our Fox Television Center.
All right, guys, thank you. The Minnesota Vikings took the opening kickoff 80 yards on 16 plays. Look at Robert Smith get up. The knee is healed. Hope you guys are enjoying your triangular hats up in New England, guys.
We enjoy your baseball call yesterday. Great job. What an exciting finish in the National League West in the various baseball races. Joe, thank you.
They're trying to block this punt. Chicago Bears have a block on. They're bringing everybody.
First Patriot punt. Tupa sends it a mile. Tyrone Hughes lets it go back into the end zone for a touchback. That's a 63-yard punt by Tupa, who had one blocked last week against the New York Jets. That was a beauty. Folks, a reminder, next week it's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. It all starts with America's most watched pregame show. Then catch an NFC Central battle as the Packers take on the Lions and the Bears clash against the Cowboys or other regional action. Coverage beginning at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, right here on Fox. Check your local listings. Alonzo Spellman with a nice move and a big defensive play in that last series, and Rick Mirer will get it for a third time.
I think that'll help the Bears. Now they'll feel a little bit better about themselves coming out, being able to stop that offensive machine. Now they have to go run the football, keep the clock. That's the Bears' chance of winning this thing.
From the 20 on the touchback, 1st and 10, handoff goes to Raymond Harris, who spurts through and gains 7 yards on first down. Chris Slade makes the stop. Harris 6 carries and 22 yards already.
Fullback's offset, so it's not a true eye. That's called an offset eye. Little counter step, and following the pulling guard, Bill Schultz. Bill Schultz goes up through there first. That's what Raymond Harris can do. He can keep you in the game by keeping the football.
If he can stay away from injuries, which have been part of his career. 2nd down and 3. Mirer with a nice pass, caught by the tight end for a first down. That's Keith Jennings with his first catch today. And Mirer out of the blocks with the pass, and Chicago keeps it on the move.
Well, 2 tight ends in the game, and Keith Jennings is just going to run what's either called a shoot or diagonal, depending on which team. He's just running to the flat. Running the flat as quickly, as fast as he can. Not much of a pickup. Yard, 2 yards. Here he is here. Watch him just shoot for the sideline. That's called a shoot. Just enough to get the first down.
So Rick Mirer completes his first pass from his own 32 and trailing 7-0. 1st and 10 for the Chicago Bears. Raymond Harris stopped once in the backfield by Chris Slade, and then trying to work through some traffic. Just is lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Chad Eaton, a free agent out of Washington State, makes the stop.
Well, Chris Slade got on the line of scrimmage, and he came after the fullback, and he stuffs Raymond. Here's the fullback. Watch Slade penetrate, get all the way in the backfield, and he stuffs the fullback. Not a good block at all by Tony Carter. Tony Carter's getting whipped out at the point of attack. 53 Slade, he buckles Tony Carter, and you can't run the football.
Carter taking the place of the injured Rashaan Salaam. Handoff to Harris. It's 2nd down and 10, and he works to the 38-yard line. That'll set up 3rd down and 4. You know, the one thing that they feel they may lose, Jerry, and Dan Pompei had a nice article in the Chicago papers this week about the lost dimension of maybe, the predictability now, because they know that Harris is going to get it and Carter will only be a blocker. Whereas when they had Salaam back there, they didn't know who was going to get the ball.
And they both could run the football. I know people got mad at Salaam's fumbling, including me when I was a coach. If you fumbled, you had to watch. But he did have the ability to run that football.
Yeah, that dimension of unpredictability may be leaving the Bears. 3rd down and 4, and Chicago has not converted a 3rd down today. Great time for Mirer with a pass caught for a first down at the 45-yard line, and then a little tussle developing after that. The catch was made by Chris Penn, the former Kansas City receiver. As you see, Todd Berger kind of getting it
you gotta love
mixed
Todd
up a
Berger.
little
Now,
bit.
if you're a Chicago Bear fan and you don't know the players yet, this is Chicago. This number 63, he goes downfield, he fights, he's trying to knock a tackler off this slant route. They're going to throw a quick slant route. Berger's the right guard, but he's going to get all of that. There's the slant. Now there's some gang tackling. He doesn't want you hitting his guy late. He goes in there. Guy from Penn State, but he's from New Jersey, and he's all New Jersey.
Played for Joe Paterno. Here's Raymond Harris on 1st down and 10, and he takes it out to the 47-yard line, picking up 3 yards, and Ted Johnson comes up with his 2nd tackle today.
I think why Berger does those things, I think why he goes downfield and tries to peel off defensive linemen. He played defense at Penn State, Kevin, as a sophomore and as a senior. And his junior year, he went over and played offensive line because he said, Joe said he needed me over there, but then Joe moved me back.
Joe Paterno.
Yeah. But I like this guy. This guy's got that defensive temperament. He says he likes to knock people around.
7-0 New England. 2nd down, 7. The pitch out to Raymond Harris. By midfield into Patriot territory for the first time today. And he's to the 49-yard line. That'll set up 3rd down and about 4. And Ted Johnson with his 3rd tackle of the day.
Remember Slade ate up Tony Carter? Well, now watch Carter. It's going to be a pitch, so watch what he does. I'm not going to block him. I'm going to hook him. Now, he's got him on the ground. Oh, and a nice block by Bill Schultz, the left guard. The offensive line for the Bears, not a lot of big names, but a lot of tough people.
Well, they've lost probably their 2 best, Todd Perry and Chris Valerio, out for differing amounts of time, and they've had to really take backups and guys that Jerry probably wouldn't be in view anyway and put them in as starters.
But sometimes those backup guys, Kevin, have more hunger and more toughness. They don't have the big salary, but they play hard. I like guys like Schultz and Berger.
Good point. First quarter has come to a close. A Drew Bledsoe touchdown pass. 7-0 New England. Jerry, it's always nice to see some of your former players following you around your trucks around the National Football League.
And that's why I'm up. There's my star quarterback. Boy, he could throw that short pass.
He knows how to wear beads well, too, doesn't he? We begin the second quarter as Pete Carroll and his Patriots lead 7-0. Rick Mirer picking up more momentum during this, his third time with the ball. 3rd down and 4. Harris in the backfield, now an empty backfield as Harris comes in motion to the near side. Mirer will take it himself. He's got to get to the 45, and he gets to the 46. So Chicago comes up a yard short. What will they do with 4th and 1? They've been a pretty good 4th down team.
Well, they were last year. This year, they're not. Now, why? This is all man-to-man. When he went in motion and that linebacker went out, he knew he had the quarterback draw against only 3 people. But the speed of New England is so fast. Look at him run. They should not have been able to stop that play, but the speed of the New England defenders enabled them to stop that play. It was a quarterback draw against a 3-man line. They should have been able to run out. Look at this. There's a shift out of punt formation.
The Bears are in a fake. Mirer is behind the center. It's 4th down and 1, and they blow it dead. A timeout taken by New England.
Yeah.
And Pete Carroll said he knew that Dave Wannstedt would try to pull something out of his hat, and sure enough they did. They practiced it all week long, and they caught him. So after the New England timeout, Chicago, after trying a fake punt, not getting it off, will indeed punt. And Sauerbrunn loses the ball, but does get it off and gets off a good one inside the 20, landing outside the 10 and kicking into the end zone. He was lucky he got that away. It was a 46-yard punt. So Chicago has to punt for the 3rd time in 3 possessions. And we're going to see Bledsoe once again in the Patriots.
Watch the snap to the punter. Here's a guy got married Friday. He looks a little nervous.
It looked like it ricocheted off that ring finger.
Perfect snap. He shouldn't have dropped that ball. That's Harper LaBelle, snapper that played for me actually in Atlanta. Excellent snapper, but punter just dropped it. Sauerbrunn.
So New England with their 3rd possession today. 1st down and 10 yards to go from their own 20-yard line, leading 7-0. Byers, the versatile Keith Byers in motion, and on 1st down, Bledsoe goes right to work and throws incomplete to Keith Byers. The McDonald's game break now. Back to Hollywood. Here's Joe Buck.
Kevin, Brett Favre ties Bart Starr with his 152nd career touchdown pass to Robert Brooks. Robert Brooks, people wait 32 years to sit in these seats. He does it the easier way. Back to the guys with a steaming bowl of clam chowder, Kevin and Jerry.
The welcoming party in Green Bay. 2nd down and 10. Drop pass by Byers before that break. Bledsoe will go to the air once again and throw outside low, but caught by Sean Jefferson. The one-time San Diego Charger who, coupled with Terry Glenn, gives this team, Jerry, about as fast a wide receiver tandem as you'll find in the NFL.
And when I got a chance to talk to him, Kevin, I asked him, when did you know that you were fast? When did you know that you were fast? Everybody, he said, I had no idea I could run, Kevin, but we had a 5th grade field day, and I won everything in the 5th grade field day. So I went home and said, hey, Dad, I'm pretty fast. I'm faster than the other kids.
Former 9th round pick by Houston, 9th round.
And never got to stay with Houston. They traded him to San Diego before the season started.
They don't even have 9 rounds in the draft anymore. Here's a 3rd and 5. There goes a flag. Bledsoe hit once, hit twice. And down he goes at the 13-yard line. But let's see what the flag is about. Alonzo Spellman got back there, and Bledsoe is slow to get up.
Well, the Bears jumped off sides. They were blitzing. But guess what? That was the 3rd blitz in a row by the Bears. I think the Bears are going to try to rattle the quarterback.
Offside. Defense. Middle guard. That's a 1st down.
And what's amazing is Brian Cox has blitzed every down this series. He's come after him every single time. But this time they jump off sides a little bit quick in here. And they had Alonzo Spillman over the ball, and Alonzo did a head-over slap on the center. That's a good adjustment, putting Alonzo over Dave Wollabaugh, a center that's just making his first shot back after injury. Pretty smart on the Bears part.
Our guys up in Green Bay, Terry and Ronnie and Oh, we all predicted Chicago would blitz all day, and sure enough, that's what we're seeing from the 30-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go, and it's an outside running play that produces nothing. In fact, a loss of a couple yards to Dave Meggett, only his second carry on the season.
And they had Sam Gash at fullback coming in with Meggett, trying to lead the block. Toss sweep, pulling the guard, pulling Max Lane around. Spellman does a good job turning in. Here comes all of his friends. Good hustle, good cleanup. Cleanup means second, third guy come in and finish off that running back. Again, that was another blitz. So we got 4 blitzes in a row from the Bears.
And it has stopped New England's rushing attempt. -9 yards. Here's second down and 12. Bledsoe hits and throws a wobbly pass, and there's a flag thrown at the 42. It was caught out of bounds by Sean Jefferson. Bledsoe took a wicked hit as he was dropping back to throw. And Johnny Greer's crew will survey what is transpiring with the flag that was thrown at the 42-yard line.
Well, amazing there, an official lost his hat, and he didn't throw his hat off because the guy went out of bounds. Whenever you see official's hat off, it usually means the wide receiver is forced out of bounds, but he just lost his hat.
Holding on the defense. First down.
This is James Burton, his first start at the right corner position.
This year, he started 7 previous times.
See, he put the left hand on him, but he's pulling on his jersey. You can't change the jersey number. If they see the 8 disappear or change the focus on that number 8 by pulling on that jersey, they'll flag you.
They're looking at the number.
They're looking at the number, and all of a sudden the 8 looks like a 6 or 0. That's their key. Someone's pulling on that jersey.
Burton's already been beaten by a touchdown pass today, taking the place of the ineffective Walt Harris. On the 33, first and 10 for Drew Bledsoe. And there go flags, which stop the play in mid-motion.
Alonzo Spellman was getting off the ball in a hurry.
Start. 84. Offense prior to the snap. Still first down.
84 is Sean Jefferson, the wide receiver.
Wow, that makes you mad. When a wide receiver, here's a guy that loves to play. When you sit down and you interview Sean Jefferson, he may be your all-time favorite guy, but he has no right as a wide receiver. He's out here juking around before the ball snap. He's supposed to look at the ball and move on the ball.
First down and 15. That was the second New England penalty today, and a quick toss by Bledsoe is incomplete. Again, zeroing in on Sean Jefferson. Jerry, in the papers in Boston, as you say, take a look at the penalties so far in the game. They've talked about a lack of Patriot poise, things that were so much a part of last year's Super Bowl run. We mentioned before, 3 times as many penalties now as at the same time last year. They've had 19 in the last 2 weeks, and that forced a players-only meeting on Monday here.
Well, the players are trying to, police themselves, not to play stupid. Of all things, Bledsoe last week got a couple of big penalties that hurt him. Had 4 penalties from a quarterback.
Second down, 15. The pass dropped across the middle. Vincent Brisby was there, and he drops the pass. He caught a touchdown pass earlier in the game, and again, Bledsoe has to take himself off the turf.
And the Bears said they had to get after Bledsoe. They had to try to make him nervous. So there's a stem, shift late, and then a twist. Good theory coming in. That's called a TE. Alonzo went up, and then the end came underneath. Tackle first and second.
TE, tackle in.
Tackle in, stunt. Got a little pressure, hit him on the legs.
Stunning on that defensive line to mix up the offense.
Trying to get somebody to hit the quarterback. Oh, all out blitz, Kevin. Everybody's coming this time.
3rd and 15. He's already had to blow 1 timeout because of this, and another timeout, and New England is now out of first half timeouts. And Chicago, with their maneuvering, has forced 3 of these already. And we've got a great portion of the second quarter to play. All right, last week with our Aflac trivia question, Curtis Martin set a Patriot record, 40 carries. Whose record did he break? Back with the answer. Bledsoe with the touchdown pass. Patriots on top, 7-0. And they just burned their 3rd and final timeout.
Great coaching job by the Bears, making the Patriots eat up all their timeouts.
So now it's 3rd and 15, and Bledsoe gets a block from Martin and throws outside, and the pass is caught. But not enough for a first down as Troy Brown makes his 9th catch of the season. He's short first down by at least 7 yards. And the Patriots have to punt for a second straight time.
I want to take you back to the timeout. Watch these safeties come up and crisscross, stand in the line. This back's in the wrong spot to pick up this gap. So he's trying to get the back over, and he knows he's in trouble, and the back can't move. There now he starts to move. That's Curtis Martin, and they realize they're out of time. Good
Comes
job.
a numbers game.
No, numbers game. He had the back in the wrong spot to pick up what's called the A gap, the guard center gap.
Tyrone Hughes is deep back to retrieve this one. He had a better week last week returning punts and kickoffs for the Bears. First 2 weeks he really struggled. Of course, one of the reasons why Chicago got him was because of his punt returning and kickoff returning ability. Big punt. Hughes takes it up past the 30 and then goes like a rag doll, head over heels out to the 33-yard line, and Chicago will get it back with Rick Mirer on a punt return of 12 yards and a punt of 44 yards. Once again, our Aflac trivia question here in Foxborough today. Last week, Curtis Martin set a Patriot record, 40 carries, 199 yards, which is a personal best for him. But the 40 carries here, whose record did he break? Let's go back to the Boston Patriots and the great Jim Nantz.
Wow.
Back in 1966 against the Oakland Raiders. What if they're going to be saying Boston Patriots again? There's a lot of talk about where this team is going to build a new stadium. Raymond Harris with the 1st and 10 in the backfield for Mirer, who's right out of the blocks and throws to Tony Carter. Fullback who is taking the place of the injured Rashaan Salam, and Carter, who has led the team in receiving from a running back standpoint the last 2 years, makes his first catch today and gains a yard.
I think you wrapped it up at the end. Why throw the ball for a yard, Kevin? Doesn't get any uglier than that. If you want a yard, just hand it to somebody. I wouldn't throw the ball for a 1-yard gain.
Carter's a pretty good blocker and a good receiver, as we've seen. He was an unrestricted agent out of the University of Minnesota back in 1994. 2nd down and 9 from the 33-yard line. Handoff Raymond Harris. And the former Ohio State Buckeye takes it up to the 36, where it'll be 3rd down and about 7. You know, he was the 16th running back taken the year he came out in that Marshall Falk draft. Eric Rett, William Floyd. He was the 16th one taken.
Well, he wasn't, probably didn't see this in college before he was taken 16th. This is a corner blitz. This is Hitchcock. They're going to blitz because there's a 1-back set, and they load it up. There's no place for anybody to run. He could have been the first pick, and there's nowhere to go when they got him outnumbered.
3rd down and 6. Chicago has converted 1 3rd down today. On the 36-yard line, Rick Mirer throws, and it's a pass caught by Ryan Wetnight, but short of the 1st down. He picks up 5 when he needed 8, and Chicago's got a punt again. In fact, each of their 4 possessions has resulted in a punt.
And the Patriots took a page out of the old the Bears book there. They went after him with Bruschi. They brought Bruschi in. Teddy Bruschi went to blitzing after the quarterback, made him bring the ball out sooner than they could. They couldn't get deep enough to get the 1st down.
3rd 3 and out for Chicago. Here comes Sauerbrunn to punt for a 4th time today. Last time Chicago tried some trickery and tried to run a fake, and the Patriots caught it. Low line drive, no hang time, and it's out of bounds, although inside the 20 at the 13-yard line. He had a hang time on the play of 3 seconds. What's he want, about 4, 5?
You got to have a 4-6. Those types of punts, there's something wrong with him. He's terrible.
And we're back in Foxborough with Jerry Glanville, Kevin Harlan. 9:01 remaining in the 2nd quarter. A Bledsoe touchdown pass of 11 yards. First time the Patriots got it. Chicago with 4 punts and 4 possessions. And now we see Drew Bledsoe working with no timeouts, all forced by Chicago coaching. On their own 14-yard line, 1st and 10. Oh, what a stick in the backfield. Down goes Curtis Martin and whacked by Barry Minner, the linebacker. What a hit.
Wow, that Barry Minner. And again, what are they doing, Kevin? Every down, the Bears are blitzing him. He's going to come after him. He's the outside linebacker. Running right through the A gap. No chance to get picked up. This linebacker is fun to talk to. Here's a guy that played high school football in Texas, went to Tulsa, was a high school pole vaulter. I've never talked to a linebacker that could pole vault 15 feet.
Drew Bledsoe vaults this pass down the sideline on a 2nd down and 15. Hits the speed merchant Troy Brown. It's a 1st down for the Patriots up at their 34-yard line. He picks up 25.
And this is what kills the Bears. If you can imagine, the Bears are giving up 70% completion. 70%. Carter's a good football player, and he slips and falls. Turned all wrong way. And they're just not able to shut down the pass. And he's lucky John Mangum came over and covered him up. Carter's a good football player. You cannot fall down and play corner.
That's Tom Carter, Marty Carter, their best defensive player out today. Here comes another blitz. Carter with the bad elbow. 1st and 10. Spellman whacked Bledsoe, who throws a pick, and in Chicago, interception, Anthony Marshall.
And was that a nice pick? He came a long way. When Bledsoe threw that ball, the man was open. And Bledsoe threw it and had good steam on the ball. Just a nice break.
Boy, they put pressure on Bledsoe, who throws just his 3rd interception of the year.
They sort of block it, but what's fun, the Bears are crawling and still trying to get there, and they're getting away with a little sling down when the play's over. They sling them down here a little bit, even though the ball's out there. All that adds up. Trying to throw the Byers, trying to get the ball to Byers.
And Anthony Marshall taking the place for Coach Dave Wanstead of the injured Marty Carter. We just talked about him.
And Marty Carter, there's a guy that could hit and tackle. You hate to miss him, and his backup comes in and makes a play.
Best beginning field possession for the Chicago Bears from the 46 of New England. 1st down and 10 yards to go, and Raymond Harris is wrapped up in the backfield. No place to run, no place to hide. Hit by Henry Thomas on the nose.
Well, there's Henry Thomas, and that's why you go in the offseason. And if you're going to sign free agents, be sure you're getting the right ones. And he is the right one. He's called a nose tackle because he usually plays over the center, even though it's a 4-man line, just loops right back around. And Pilgrim looked like a lost Pilgrim in a covered wagon on that one.
2nd down and 10 from the 46 of the Patriots. Mirer going deep for the first time, looking for Ricky Prohl. Tap, and he's intercepted by Ty Law. The former 1st-round pick out of the University of Michigan, getting blocks. He's up past the 30 and returns it to the 33-yard line. That's a return of 29 yards, and Mirer throws another interception. Had one last week in relief duty against Detroit.
Let me tell you about that interception. You talk about a man going up, batting the ball back to himself. What a great athletic move by Ty Law.
Ty Law makes his first pick of the year, and it's a good one on Rick Mirer.
He's down there at the bottom, man-to-man, full press. He got out a little bit early. What a great job. Went right into his right hand and batted the ball back to himself.
See, that's a play where they miss Curtis Conway and his speed.
And his athletic ability. Look at that play by Ty Law.
Although it was well covered by Law. Bledsoe threw an interception the last time we saw him. The turnovers even at 1 apiece. From the 33, 1st and 10 for the defending AFC champion New England Patriots, and it's a pass once again caught by Troy Brown, who is a 5th-year player out of Marshall and a former 8th-round pick back in 1993.
Boy, did he throw that football there, Kevin. That ball there, that was the hardest, most RPM ball he had of this whole ball game. That thing would have went right through the car wash without getting wet.
Patriots on top 7-0. 1st and 10 for Bledsoe. Another quick throw. This time a slant caught by Sean Jefferson. He was tackled on the play by Tom Carter. Another New England 1st down to the 39 of Chicago. Back for an NFL update to Fox Television Center headquarters and Joe Buck.
Thank you, guys. Well, Heath Schuler might not have a touchdown pass yet, but running back Mario Bates does. 21 yards to Andre Hastings. He's already run for another. Bates has 74 yards. Look at that. New Orleans out in front by 14. Guys.
We saw the Lions last week whip the Bears 32-7. Sanders had 161 yards last week. Curtis Martin has been held in check today. Here's a 1st down. Play action by Bledsoe. Hit as he throws. Lofts it incomplete. Down the sideline. Chicago is getting tremendous pressure on the #1 rated quarterback in the NFL.
Well, every play is a blitz, and that's what's making Bledsoe mad. He knows he's got one-on-one coverage, and they're coming, and they're picking the blitz up. But he knows it's coming every single time. There's linebackers and DBs involved in every play. And they're getting a whack on him after he throws the ball every time, and all those whacks add up, Kevin. Sooner or later, you pass 27 times, you got 27 whacks on you.
2nd down and 10 from the 40 of Chicago. Coates is in motion. Bledsoe back on his heels, throwing to Byers, the versatile running back out of Ohio State who's played in the USFL with Philadelphia, Miami, and now with New England. He plays tight end and fullback for this team.
And really, he's splitting time with what we thought was a great blocking fullback that's played in the best. But watch this. Sam Gash is usually in there. Everybody's blitzing. Every down. That leaves Mangum one-on-one. If Mangum misses that tackle now, the danger of that is you get to score a touchdown.
How about Bledsoe's release? That probably gives that offensive line a chance to not get people sacking him very often, as you can see, just one time.
Well, they came after everybody again.
Another pass, another incompletion. Double team downfield was Troy Brown, who's been a made target of Bledsoe today in Foxborough. So now.
Hey, the Bears are living on the edge, and I love it. They said, I tell you what, you got to love this. They're sending everybody they got after him. Whack, whack again.
Guys are losing helmets. Bledsoe is picking grass out of his mouth every time he goes down.
Well, they know they got to turn their season around, even if you got to do something crazy. Look at that play by Tom Carter. Tom Carter got his hand in there. They're going for it on fourth down.
They're the Patriots living on the edge. 4th down and 6 from the 35 from the shotgun. There goes the flag, and Bledsoe hit, and there go the whistles.
I think the Bears jumped off sides, Kevin. I think they moved too quick.
Ball start. Number 41. Offense.
Oh, they were drawn off
Prior
sides.
to the snap. 4th down.
Well, that takes away. It was 4th and 6.
Now they'll have
3
to
New
punt.
England penalties, all on Pete Carroll's offense. Now you're right. Now they've got to punt the ball.
I saw the 41's up on the line like a tight end. See him rock back. See his butt rock back. Can't rock back. That made Alonzo Spillman all the way on the other side get off the ball quick.
Chicago has done small things today to keep them in the game.
Well, one thing in smaller, they are hanging it out with a blitz on every single snap. Makes me homesick.
Two but a punt. And a fair catch is made, looking up into the bright New England sun by Tyrone Hughes. So Chicago hanging in there. Their defense keeping them in the game. It's New England, though, 7-0. This is how Chicago is staying with the AFC champion New England Patriots.
Everybody's blitzing on every play. They're having all kinds of fun going up after him. You saw Ron Cox go, Brian Cox go.
Spellman on that
Spellman
play.
in a blitz. Here comes both safeties coming up, making them take a timeout. Every play is this way for Chicago. They are hanging out. I love living on the edge. They're right out there.
And because of plays like that, New England has been forced to use every timeout already. Worst beginning field possession for Chicago's offense. 1st down and 10. And the handoff goes to Raymond Harris, who is out to the 15-yard line, tackled by Todd Collins.
Little misdirection on that. Again, the best thing that Raymond Harris does is come straight at you, and they're running a little misdirection on him. Oh,
Raymond
man.
Harris.
He went out. Who went in?
Lost a shoe.
Did Darnell Autry go in?
Darnell Autry is in the game, activated for his very first NFL game today. He sent out the first 3.
Wow, I loved watching him at Northwestern. There's a guy that put Northwestern back on the map for football.
2nd down and 4. Autry's first NFL carry is off of left guard into the 17-yard line. Close to a 1st down, but about a yard shy.
Well, his feet went pitter-patter. I wanted him to slam ball. He did a little toe dance in it. This is his first carry. Watch his feet. I love this guy in college.
Wouldn't your feet go pitter-patter?
Well, let's see why he went pitter-patter. Maybe
like
know where
heart.
to go.
Yeah.
Well, he's got to bring a bigger load than that. He had Todd Berger come. If I had Todd Berger, I'd just get right behind him and say, I'm following you, you big moose.
Those linemen look a little bit bigger than what you saw at Northwestern. Turn 21 injured. Raymond Harris back in 3rd down and 1.
I don't like this formation in a short down, but
Harris headlong into the defense, and New England stops him.
he may have got it, but that's a bad formation on the 3rd and 1 because you got an open side. You have no tight end on the left side, so they can blitz you off there and pound you.
Bad spot, Jerry. Bad spot.
Well, it's a bad formation, too. See, they have no tight end over here, so you can get 2 people coming down in that hole. Watch what happens. You got a 3rd and 1. You got to have a tight end somewhere. They had no tight ends. That's not good.
Didn't get the 1st down. They got a punt again.
I think it was formation more than anything. Okay, here comes the newlywed. He's got to forget about his bride, or his head coach is going to forget about him.
Must have been a great honeymoon.
This last of the day.
Our Bruns punt, 5th time in 6 possessions. Held without a first down for Chicago. Dave Meggett back at the 14-yard line. Chased by Bones, got away from him, then is whacked and put down after a hang time on Sauerbrun's punt of 4.5 seconds.
That's what you got to have. 4-6. You and I can cover it.
Good job.
An unbelievable show. Steel Chariots is going to be just like the X-Files on Fox. We're going to have to run home and get there early.
Here, take this back.
That's a great show. Don't miss it.
1st and 10. Curtis Martin, who has had a tough day running the ball, leans to the 26-yard line before he is brought down after a gain of 5.
Boy, he's been I think they were minus yardage for the game until that play.
Now they're still minus yardage. But let me ask you about this New England team. The emotional game against Parcells last week. Overtime win, but a game with a lot of mistakes. Lost poise by a lot of individual players. Do you sense an emotional letdown today by the Patriots?
I think the Bears are causing problems that they probably didn't get to practice again. Well, there's another blitz. Just as we're talking, every play they're bringing somebody somewhere.
2nd down and 6 pass is caught by Sean Jefferson. It's good for a New England first down to the 39-yard line. Gain of 14 through the air for Bledsoe.
And that's what you do. It's still one-on-one on the outside. So all that go, if you can block it, they're alone outside. Here's James Burton, his first start today. And he doesn't even know where Jefferson is. His hips are turned the wrong way. And you just got to keep throwing that quick out, which, you know, they got the quarterback can do it, and you got Jefferson's speed. You got to quit trying to fool around inside with the Bears because they're taking chances inside.
Jefferson and Dietrich Gels now the wide receivers. Brown has gone out. We have not seen a lot of Terry Glenn, who is back in today after an ankle injury. Kept him out of the last 2 games. We've reached the 2-minute warning. Bledsoe touchdown pass. A lot of blitzing by Dave Wanstead's defense. We're late in the first half. Sports Ticker will have up-to-date statistics. It's all coming up in the Dockers Khakis halftime. 1st and 10 for Bledsoe. Hit, got away, keeps his composure, throws a pass caught by Dietrich Gels. His first catch of the season is a big gain all the way to, oh, now they're going to call it incomplete. Incomplete pass. One referee was overruled by the other. Incomplete at the Chicago 30-yard line. And a big break for the Chicago Bears.
Big break, but guess what? They hit the quarterback again. The Bears are hitting the quarterback. Bledsoe's going down on every single play. Throw down on the ground. Here's Dietrich Gels. He hasn't played since the preseason, running a drag route against the zone. Wide open.
Brisby is in.
Oh, I'll tell you, that's a catch and a fumble. That should have been called catch, fumble.
2nd down 10. Blitz is on again. Outside it goes to Curtis Martin from behind. Jumping on his back is Anthony Marshall. Shy of a first down by a yard. That's a gain of 9. It'll set up 3rd down and 1.
Now, when he gets out in the backfield, because it's an all-out blitz again, remember there's only one guy left. And it's John Mangum. He's got to make the tackle. Look at here. No one's on that side of the field except those 2 players. It's like everybody go over there and us 2 are going to play our own game over. So when you blitz, you are alone if you're in coverage.
3rd down and 1. Remember now the Patriots operating with no timeouts. On the 48, Coates is in motion. Bledsoe that time with time. He throws a pass and it's caught by Troy Brown. And there he goes. He's in for a Patriot touchdown.
And that's the first time that the Bears did not blitz. They ran a 4-man rush. If you do that against Bledsoe, he'll kill you. They had zones all the way underneath, and they just ran right through the zone.
Bledsoe throws his 2nd touchdown pass of the day. That good for 52 yards. And Adam Vinatieri will try the extra point. It's 13-0 New England. Minute 35 to play in the first half. He found that seam, Jerry, and then flew right between them.
Well, it was all zone, and the Bears were taking chances. And that time they played normal defense, 4-man rush, zones underneath, and he split right through the zones.
Roy Brown makes his 2nd touchdown reception of the season. Nursing a sore hamstring. Didn't show on that play. Bledsoe to the air again for another touchdown pass. The New England Patriots lead at 14-0 over the Chicago Bears. Patriots came into today 3-0. Chicago winless at 0-3 as Adam Vinatieri sets to kick off to Chicago. 52-yard touchdown reception, a career long by Troy Brown.
I think what you saw there was that the Bears can't run in the open space with their players versus the fast guys at New England.
Short kickoff by Vinatieri, taken by Tyrone Hughes at about the 16-yard line, and he'll run outside, breaking one New England tackle, and then out of bounds he is forced by Dietrich Gels. And Chicago will take over at their own 33, first down and 10 with 1:29 to play in the first half.
All these Bears are going to sit in zones, and the route's going to come all the way underneath, and you'll see the difference in what you call playing in space. Watch this. They're in space. It's zone, and Brown just flat out outruns everybody on the field. It's not man-to-man. It's not a blitz. It's a four-man rush. He comes underneath. Now your zone's got to collapse on him, and the zones can't catch it.
And he's got a bad wheel.
I'm glad he's not healthy today, huh?
They got some speed among these receivers, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Rick Mirer has not been able to move his team. He is 4 of 5, throwing 17 yards, picked off once. On his own 33, first and 10. Basically now in a 2-minute offense. Changing the play. Here comes the blitz. Picked up well. Outside it goes and caught by receiver Bobby Ingram. His first reception of the day. And the second-round pick out of Penn State a year ago. Now in a starting role with the absence of Michael Timpson to Philadelphia. Comes up on the play with a gain of 6 yards.
Well, with 14 points down, a minute 25, you can't throw 6-yard passes. I'm surprised they don't get in a wide open formation here, being a shotgun. Open this thing up. They're back up under the center, Kevin.
Second down and a short 4. Here comes the blitz again. Mirer looking one way, hit as he throws, and down goes Mirer, sacked for the first time today at the 29-yard line. Make it the second time he is sacked. Larry Wiggum, his second sack of the afternoon.
While he's blitzing, and your halfback is going to catch the screen, has to stun him. This man has to stun him and then go out, and he just waves goodbye to him. He does not stun Wiggum. He goes around him. Terrible. Quarterback had no chance at all there, Kevin.
Third down and 15 for Mirer. Clock down to 53 seconds and ticking. Bears have all their timeouts. Handoff goes to Raymond Harris, who had to get out to the 44-yard line, works his way to the 40, and Chicago will have to settle for a punt. Ted Johnson makes another stop at the middle linebacker. And let's see what Chicago is doing. Johnson with 8 tackles in the first half for the Patriots. 8 of them. Most of them solo.
He's a guy that played out of the University of California. Big, strong guy that can run. Tore a knee one year, came back, had a great year last year, had a great playoff stretch for New England last year.
Stay tuned at halftime. We're going to be talking with New England Patriot owner Robert Kraft about a variety of issues. Patriot owner Robert Kraft will be our halftime guest. A timeout taken by Dave Wannstedt and the Chicago Bears. And Jerry, we talked before about Jim Nantz, who used to play for the for the Boston Patriots. A lot of talk, a lot of conjecture now that the new stadium will be possibly built in Rhode Island. They're dealing with the people in Boston. They like Foxborough. There are a lot of different options in front of the Kraft family right now.
Well, I know one thing. Since he's become the owner, this place has been sold out every single game, including preseason. When I coached here, I coached at a preseason game, and I told my team, you got to catch yourself on fire, because when we go out here to play, there's not anybody here. And that's not the case anymore. I look around, you don't see stadiums packed like this anymore.
35th consecutive sellout today. Every game since 1994 has been sold out here in New England. The punt by Sauerbrunn. High. Make it back to get it. Out of bounds it goes. 4.3 on the hang time. No time remains in the first half clock. And that'll be the final play of the first half. Drew Bledsoe has thrown 2 touchdown passes. New England shutting out the Bears. Joe Buck and Bill Moss at our Fox Television studios with the Dockers Khaki halftime. Right after these messages from your local station.
Dockers Halftime, brought to you by Dockers Khakis, the preferred khakis inside the red zone. Hey, nice pants.
Thanks a lot, deep voice guy. It is the Dockers Halftime Report. Joe Buck along with Bill Moss, and we need to get you caught up on all the scores and highlights from around the National Football League. Drew Bledsoe has 2, and the Patriots out in front by 14 up at Foxborough, the game you're watching over Chicago. Meanwhile, Bill Moss, there was a guy named Curly, and now there's a field named after him.
And Robert Smith on a trampoline up and over, take the early lead as they march down the field in 16 plays. But Brett Favre answers back, throws into double coverage for touchdown number 152. Ties a record in Green Bay with Bart Starr. Robert Brooks up into the fans as usual. And here it comes. Touchdown 153. Brett Favre to Antonio Freeman in the quarter of the end zone, all alone. Pack on top, and they're knocking on the door as we speak right now.
Let's go to the tote board. Touchdown pass number 154. Mike Ditka's looking up to the heavens, but he's in a dome, Bill. I don't think he'll see much.
He can't find anything in the heavens, but he finds something in Mario Bates. Touchdown pass. Darrell Hobb, Andre Hastings, and then comes back with a 74-yard run for a touchdown. Then it's Heath Shuler. Heath Shuler, I said, throwing a touchdown pass. Darrell Hobbs in the end zone. Everything's gone right in New Orleans.
What quarterback controversy? I guess it's between Shuler and Bates now, with the Saints out in front by 14. How about Kansas City spoiling the day so far in Carolina?
Showing a lot of defense and taking care of that zone blitz.
Oakland out in front by 12. If you refer to the coach in New York as the Big Tuna, I'm coming over the desk. They're in the second quarter. No Big Tuna whatsoever. And the Baltimore Ravens leading at Tennessee 17-7. We understand there are now 8 people left in the stands in Memphis. So we'll talk about New England for just a brief moment. So far for Chicago, it's not paying dividends, switching to Rick Mirer.
Well, the problem has been actually the blitz. They've tried to blitz, and they've tried to slow down Drew Bledsoe in the offense. Now, they were able to do that for about a quarter, and now Drew Bledsoe's found out, and he's lighting them up.
We will get you back to New England. Jerry, Kevin, they're waiting. It's the Dockers halftime back to New England right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the premiere of the new Fox Sunday night. Now, your favorite specials are a new Fox series. James Brown hosts the premiere of The World's Funniest. Then The Simpsons are hitting the Big Apple on their season premiere.
Look, it's ZZ Top.
And set your sights on King of the Hill.
Can I put a gun rack on my bike?
You know how long I've been waiting for you to ask me that?
The season premiere, followed by The X-Files. The new Fox Sunday night starts tonight at 7, 6 Central.
All right.
This is Barry Sanders Field,
Where he learned to run.
where we learned his moves. He spins, he jukes.
He's like crazy, you know. Barry used to play flag football. He said if someone can't grab your flag,
There's no way they'll ever be able to tackle you.
he's like a pinball.
This is Barry Sanders Field,
Where we learn to play. Football is football no matter where you play.
Welcome back to Foxborough, where Drew Bledsoe has thrown 2 touchdown passes. The New England Patriots lead the Chicago Bears, shutting out Chicago 14-0. One of the true gentlemen in the National Football League is with us, the owner of the NFL New England Patriots, Robert Kraft. Bob Kraft is with us. First, I want to talk about this season, which is off to a glittering 3-0 start. Your quarterback looks good. And what about last week with Bill Parcells coming back in this building, a thrilling overtime victory?
Every fan, fantasizes, Kevin, about owning a team in their hometown, and be able to do that and be 3-0 and winning the game last week. And, there were 7 anxious months after we had to put a whole new staff in after the Super Bowl. And no matter how good your players are, you don't know what's going to happen with a whole new system and new coaches. It's never happened before. And to be 3-0 and leading it at halftime and hopefully be 4-0. It hasn't happened in 20 years. So we're pumped.
You've got the team, you've got the fans. Now all you need is a stadium.
Well, we hope by the end of the year we'll be able to find a permanent location for the Patriots that'll bring stability that this franchise has never had. We needed to support the fans who have been so good to us, the season ticket holders, and also to be able to compete to bring a championship to New England.
How realistic is a placement of a new stadium in Rhode Island? How realistic is it to keep it here in Foxborough?
It isn't about Massachusetts versus Rhode Island. It's really about getting a venue that'll give the stability that allow this team to stay here for the next 2-3 decades, and we can try to get on Fox more, have more fun, and stir the pot and bring a championship home to New England. Not an AFC championship, but a Super Bowl championship.
Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots. We go to our Fox affiliated stations. We're back to Foxborough following these messages from your local Fox station. Back in Foxborough, New England on top of Chicago, 14-0. 2 Drew Bledsoe touchdown passes has given the Patriots their lead right now. And through 2 quarters, here are the first half numbers.
I think what the Bears are doing because of the blitzes and going after people, you have the Patriots with a -9 yards. But you look over at the Bears, I think they're playing trying not to lose. They're not trying to win the game, so they got a -2 passing. I don't know when the last time you sat there in an NFL game and saw minus rushing yards on one team and minus passing yards on the other.
Well, the deepest penetration, Jerry, for Chicago today, the New England 46. Chicago's first half offense, 25 plays, 57 yards.
Wow. Now, I'll say this about Chicago. They have controlled the clock, but when you're controlling the clock, you got to have more than 57 yards at halftime. And it looks to me like they're playing trying not to lose. And if you play not to lose, it's hard to make a big play.
Bledsoe's had a pretty good day, as you can see, and Rick Mirer's been on the money, but Jerry, just not a whole lot there. Both quarterbacks have thrown an interception this afternoon.
Well, I look at Rick Mirer. You know, I look at a first down pass for a 1-yard gain. I look at a 3rd and 9 and they gain 6. You know, he's 5 of 6, but his passes aren't doing anything. They're not making the change move. Don't throw the ball unless you can make the change move, and they're not doing that.
Chicago's defense has allowed New England, Jerry, on the ground -9 yards rushing.
I think that's because of all the blitzing. They're blitzing the quarterback, trying to rattle Bledsoe, but why they run the ball against a blitz, they sort of run into a blitzer, and they're doing a good job of taking a guy that, you know, set the world on fire last week running that Curtis Martin. They've totally shut him down.
Sauerbrunn will kick off for Chicago. Deep back David Maggott along with Derek Cullors. Cullors fumbled the ball late last week. This will be Maggott on a hop inside the 5-yard line for New England. He finds the gap, and he's out past the 30-yard line to the 33. And we'll take a look at New England's offense and the Chicago defense, Jerry, which has really been the story of this game.
They've allowed 2 touchdowns, and one against the zone and once against man-to-man. But rushing yardage, what a great job they've done there with a -9 yards, but they haven't got much help from their offense. You know, your defense can play like that, but you know, I think the longest play for the Bears offense has probably been the huddle break. They haven't made anything big happen.
First down and 10. Byers will block for Martin, who has had a tough time getting out of the block, and there he goes out past the 40 to the 41-yard line, picking up 8 yards, and that's the Curtis Martin, one of the top rushers in the NFL that we're used to seeing.
I don't know if everybody else would have gained any yard. Max Lane, the guy that used to play tackle, is going to play guard. He's going to pull and lead around. And you see Curtis looking for a hole, stumbles over Max, jumps over the top of Max Lane. And here comes Brian Cox. One thing about Brian Cox, works hard every single play. He goes over there and smacks it.
Martin is one of 3 NFL players to average a touchdown per game in his career. Unbelievable. 2nd down and 2, and he gets a first down there as he takes a Bears defender on his back. Out to the 46-yard line. John Manga makes the stop after a gain of 4.
Well, just a little lead. Looks like maybe they went in at halftime talking about the Patriots. They got a recommitment. Maybe they made a recommitment that we can make the run work. Let's go back and do it.
Steal of the 1995 draft, a 3rd-round pick out of Pittsburgh.
Because he had that injury at the University of Pittsburgh. He had a bad ankle. Nobody knew if he could stay well.
1st and 10. Martin again. Nothing. Jim Flanagan makes the stop. We were told today Chicago would be rotating most of their defensive linemen.
Yeah, they want to get more fresh people in there to continue. Well, watch this. Watch the fullback go this way, out of the eye, and Curtis go that way, Kevin. That's unusual. I mean, who's going to pick up that linebacker coming in the hole?
And Flanagan.
Yeah, really. And the coaches told us that all the defensive line, Spellman was going to get a break, Theory was going to get a break. You don't want to give Carl Simpson a break. He's the best defensive lineman right now.
Second down 10. Bledsoe low and uncatchable pass to Keith Byers. The third all-time receiving leader among running backs in the NFL.
And this throw, this doesn't look like a Bledsoe. One thing they've done with Bledsoe, they've thrown the ball downfield this year, and here's a little easy shooter diagonal that, you know, he's got to make that throw. That was just a bad play by Drew Bledsoe.
Who comes in today, the #1 rated quarterback in the NFL, but he had a very erratic game last week against the Jets. Trying to get himself out of it today against the Chicago Bears, which come in as the number 30 defense in the NFL.
All out blitz, all out blitz. Everybody's coming.
3rd and 10. Chicago's offsides. Bledsoe is hit as he throws deep downfield, and his receiver has to turn and twist, and that's Terry Glenn. And it's incomplete, but let's see what that flag is all about. He seems to think it's against Chicago.
Well, the blitzer went too soon. The blitzer got offsides. Looked like a safety ran down in the A gap. Remember, your A gap is the center guard gap.
Offside. 36. Defense. Still 3rd down.
Anthony Marshall replacing Marty Carter.
Anthony Marshall's going to come in the gap, and he's going to get in there too close. You can't leave to the ball snapped. So here's a guy that's making a start because of another Chicago Bear injury and hurting his team with a 5-yard penalty.
So what would normally be 3rd and 10 is now 3rd and 5.
All out blitz. Oh,
there goes another flag.
Wow.
Here goes Bledsoe's pass high and whistling over the head of Vincent Brisby on the far side.
And John Thury jumped offside. He was the end on the right side, and I saw his foot cross the line of scrimmage.
Five Chicago penalties, 4 on the defense.
Offside. 91. Defense.
And here's what Drew Bledsoe is doing.
1st down.
To pull that defense off sides.
Probably changing his voice. Probably got the hard count. Not that hard a 2, but he brought 91, John Thury, across the line with his right foot.
And a Patriot 1st down.
So there was a 3rd and 10, never took a snap, and they got a 1st.
Then 3rd and 5 because of 1 penalty.
Yes.
Then 1st and 10. From the 44 of Chicago. Bledsoe play action. Steps up and throwing deep. And there's a flag, and it's blown on Tom Carter, who is covering the speedy Terry Glenn.
And what a nice blitz pickup by Keith Byers. Brian Cox came roaring up inside, and I'll tell you what, Keith Byers knocked him out as quickly as he went in, and they got the penalty downfield.
Pass interference. 25. Defense. 1st down.
I could hear the blitz pickup up here, Kevin. Watch 41 be at the top. Right there, he picked up the blitz. Gave the quarterback time. And Tom Corner on an out. A double move. Got rid of hold of just pulling on his chest.
3 consecutive penalties on the Bears defense. New England was 3rd and 10 at the Chicago 46. Now 1st and 10 at the Chicago 15-yard line. Keith Byers rumbling over the 20. Past the 15 and to the 14-yard line. Brian Cox.
Guess what?
Makes the stop.
The Bears blitzed again. And you gotta love it.
Don't look surprised.
I tell you, every snap they're coming after him. They're not going to sit down there. Like you said, 3 penalties in a row, you'd maybe say, we're jumping off sides, we're making mistakes. They come right back and stay as aggressive as they can be.
You said something. You think they're playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win?
Not the defense. I think offensively they crawled into a shell. Defensively, they've gone the other way. They're wide open, living on the edge.
2nd down and 9 and down by 2. Touchdown. Chicago lines up on defense, blitzing Bledsoe again. Being chased by Theory, and he throws it out of bounds. That time the blitz paid off.
And not only that was a good throw. The Bears had an interception. Anthony Marshall knew where it was going. He jumped. Anthony Marshall knew he had a pick. He was heading the other way, and Bledsoe throws it away. Here's Anthony Marshall starting for the injured safety Carter. And he knows, watch him right here. He's going to jump under the route right there for the pick. You see, he had that if it was a good throw.
3rd down and 9. Martin is in the backfield. Bledsoe's in the shotgun.
It's a blitz. It's a blitz, Kevin.
Bledsoe sees it. Hit. Throws. Caught. First down inside the 5. Sean Jefferson to the 3.
With a fumble.
And there's a fumble on the play. Chicago in their body language would say they've got it. And does Johnny Greer and his staff agree? There's a pile, and Chicago has gotten the second turnover today from the New England Patriots.
Number 92, Barry Minter with a recovery.
Looked like Mirer came up with the loose ball.
He had a fumble recovery in Green Bay, and he couldn't have come up with a better time to get a fumble recovery against the New England Patriots. The Pats are stopped in their tracks, and Chicago takes over. The Bears are thanking their lucky stars that they've stopped New England right in their tracks on this play.
Great camera work here. Watch the ball come out. Great call by the officials to see this. The ball's going to come out right there. There's the on the ground.
First and 10 for Chicago. Raymond Harris out to the 8. That is the first trip in 13 red zone trips by New England that they come away with nothing.
That tells you how good they are. That tells you how good their offense is. To go down there 13 times and score 13 times.
Heath Jennings is a bit shaken up. He was injured last year.
We haven't seen as much of that rookie tight end we thought we'd see. Allred. Maybe John Allred will come in. John Allred can block.
Tough day offensively for Chicago. Second down, 5 yards to go. Rick Mirer making his first start in a Chicago uniform. Raymond Harris twisting and turning and coming up with a yard. Tough first half for Chicago. You can see what they did in those 7 possessions. 25 plays, Jerry, 57 yards, and they ran only 3 plays in the first half inside Patriot territory.
Well, I think they're so conservative. That's why I thought the offense was playing, trying not to lose this thing. And what's funny is defensively, they're just the opposite. There's Coach Wanstead. They're hanging it out on defense. I think they're going to have to hang it in on both ends. Let her go.
4 wide receivers, 3rd down and 4. Mirer looking for an open receiver off the hands of Chris Penn, incomplete. And Chicago's got a punt again.
And the pass is bad. The pass is behind him. Going to try to run a quick slant. A slant is something that Rick Mirer can throw. He still got to catch that, though. This is National Football League. Chris Penn, you got to catch that. And now comes in Mr. Excitement. I can't tell you what Sauerbrum's going to do. It could be a boomer.
For Chicago today, 7 3-and-outs. 7 of them.
Well, you got to give New England credit on that, too. The New England defense doing a heck of a job.
Good hang time for Sauerbrunn, landing at midfield, kicking back into Chicago territory, and the Patriots will get it once again with great field position after the 42-yard punt and 4.2 hang time by Sauerbrunn. Drew Bledsoe has thrown touchdown passes number 11 and number 12 today for his season. Top-rated passer in the AFC and the NFC, coming in after a rocky performance against his old coach, Bill Parcells, last week. An overtime win by the Patriots over the Jets. And they're trying to avoid an emotional letdown today.
And he's getting blitzed a lot, which leaves those wide receivers one-on-one outside. Here's the old toss sweep.
And the pitch out goes to Curtis Martin into Chicago territory at the 46-yard line, a gain of 2. Tackled by Walt Harris. With Jerry Glanville, Kevin Harlan, Foxborough.
No backs in the backfield.
Second down, 7. 4 wide receivers deployed. Blitz is on. Bledsoe hot and high as he was looking for Terry Glenn.
Well, I thought because of the way they started, they made a new commitment to come back and run, but nobody in the backfield that time. They're sort of running like a 2-minute offense here, which is changing up the defense for the Bears. The Bears have in, you said, Walt Harris making the tackle. That's because the nickel was in even on first down.
That pass, by the way, and Glenn is back today after missing a couple of games. That was the first pass to Glenn. He caught one in the end zone in the first drive of the game, but a penalty brought it back. So officially that was the first pass to Glenn this afternoon. 3rd down and 7 from the shotgun. Bledsoe. Blitz, you better believe it.
Everybody's coming.
Bledsoe hit.
And they got him.
Flanagan gets him at the 40. And Bledsoe before today, Jerry, was sacked just 1 time for Chicago. That is sack number 2.
And watch the safeties. All the safeties are going to walk up, plus the outside people are going to walk up. And again, he has to block him, which turns that man loose. And they just keep coming. They're playing about as dangerous as you can play. If they do that on offense, maybe they could move the ball a little bit.
Tom Tupa, the former starting quarterback at Ohio State, and the guy who's played many years in the NFL as a backup, gets a wobbly punt downfield. Hughes was awaiting at the 15. They'll wave it off, and the ball will finally rest at the 21. Chicago, having only run 3 plays in New England territory, will try it again, trailing 14-0. Patriots shutting out Chicago 14-0.
I think what Chicago has to do now, they got the number 2 pick in the draft the same year Bledsoe came out. Let him play, open it up, awful concern. I know what they're trying to do is not make a mistake, don't turn the ball over, but you know what, then you get beat by a little bit. Just go try to win on this series.
From the 21, first down and 10 yards to go. Mirer to throw over the head of Raymond Harris. Mirer was thought by many, Jerry, to be the number 1 pick. Bill Parcells, the Patriots owned it. And because of the back and forth, Bledsoe, Mirer, Mirer, Bledsoe, they became pretty good friends. They talk many times every season on the phone. They vacation together. In fact, their wives are the best of friends. Drew's wife and Rick's wife.
And I talked to the front office at the Patriots and said, why Bledsoe over Mirer? They said number 1 was height, number 2 was arm strength, and number 3, he played in a lot of real bad inclement weather games, which they thought he could have here. And that's what they decided, Bledsoe over Mirer.
Second down and 10. Blitz is on. Meyer's running for his life and throws a pass which is caught at the 28-yard line. Nabbed on the play by Ricky Prohl, who was a teammate with Mirer up in Seattle. Here are the two as rookies. Mirer was NFL Rookie of the Year.
Unfortunately for him, he's been moved around, but in different systems. I think when a quarterback has a new offensive coordinator year after year after year, you never get comfortable with your offensive system. I think he's got to be able to stick with some system for a long time, and then his talents will come back out.
Bears are 1 of 8 on third downs. 3rd and 2. They get the first down as they throw to Ryan Wetnight, the tight end, and that is the longest play for the Bears today, and their best penetration into Patriot territory, taking him all the way down to the 37-yard line. That was a pickup of 34 yards.
And it was off a little bootleg. They ran a little bootleg fake and put the quarterback. It was a naked bootleg because of Meyer's strength and ability is running an escape and just throws a little old shoot to the tight end. He already fakes in there, comes out around on a bootleg, no blockers. He's all by himself. Looked like Bruschi, Teddy Bruschi says, oh, I had that tight end. Bruschi's trying to catch up to him.
So the Bears have missed their last 5 consecutive third down conversions. Come up with one. Best field position now, 37-yard line. Raymond Harris twisting around, grabs the Mirer pass, takes it down to the 30-yard line, tackled by linebacker Chris Slade. That's a gain of 7 yards. A McDonald's game break now. Back to our Fox Television Center in Hollywood. Here's Joe Buck.
All right, Kevin, while the Bears try to get back in their game, it's been a breakthrough day for Heath Shuler. He's thrown for a touchdown. He's run for a touchdown. This good for 5 yards and a 28-7 third quarter lead for the Saints. Back to Kevin and Jerry.
Looking for their first win. Shuler had a quarterback rating coming into today, Jerry, of 24.1.
I don't think anybody's been that low since Trent Dilfer was 1 year with Tampa.
1995. Second down, about 2. The handoff to Raymond Harris, and it looks like he's carved out a first down to the 27-yard line.
Well, this drive, they're throwing a little bit more on first down, but they're not pushing the ball down the field. All their passes, you bootleg swings, but they got a little momentum here going. They just stay wide open on offense and help that defense that's played so good for them.
That's Chicago's first down since the final minute of the first quarter.
Well, I think the one thing people are forgetting about this New England, too, New England's strength may be their speed on defense. These people, oh, here comes New England's blitzing, Kevin.
1st and 10. And they stopped the play before I even had a chance to start.
Ball start. The entire offensive line. Still first down.
The entire offensive line. If that's a true statement by the official, that what probably happened is everybody had the snap count except the center. If everybody moves but the center, then the penalty is probably on the center. Wow, I didn't see the entire offensive. I don't know where the official saw that one. The offensive line coach is mad about it. I know that.
Tony Wise rated every year as one of the best in the NFL. 1st and 15 with the penalty. Mirer changing the play.
Made an audible signal.
There goes a flag.
Clock ran out on him. He made a hand signal because of crowd noise. The good Patriot fans make enough noise. You can't make a verbal audible, so you'll see his hand signal.
We saw the clock go to 0. And I think the question is, was it reset from the previous play?
Delay of game, offense, prior to the first stop, prior to the false start.
Now the Patriot fans are making noise. He's trying to make an audible. He can't, so watch his hand signal. There. That's a slant. That's a slant. He put his hand out.
Why do you say a slant?
Yeah, that's the signal for a slant to the wideout.
All right, 1st and 10. Now it's 1st and 20. There goes Mirer. He's got to get to the 18-yard line, and the scrambling quarterback out of Notre Dame takes it down to the 28, almost the original line of scrimmage, and he picks up 10. Ted Johnson makes his 9th tackle of the day.
Boy, Ted Johnson's making some plays. Had Brewski in there with him, so they had people that could play in space and run the scrambling quarterback down.
When you look at Mirer, you've seen Kramer last week. Is there a quarterback controversy in your mind in Chicago?
I don't think so. I don't think Mirer's any better than Kramer, but I think the coach is just trying to find somebody to spark this football team and get a win. I wouldn't put those losses on Kramer at all.
2nd and 11. Great block by Raymond Harris. A pass goes out. The second caught today by Bobby Ingram. Out of bounds he goes, shy of a first down.
All right, this is Rick Mirer's best ball. By best ball, he's going to do an RPM ball. He's going to get revolutions on the ball. This, I think, is his best throw. Little eye fake. And look at the ball. That's a nice throw. That's his best. Nose up, RPM, and he looked like a big-time thrower on that one.
Bears began this drive at their 21. This easily the best drive they've had all game. You can see what they totaled in their first 9 drives. 3rd down and 1. Raymond Harris sent into the teeth of New England's defense, and they come back biting. At the 20, thrown for a loss of a yard. It'll be 4th and 2. Henry Thomas stopped him in his tracks.
Yeah, I tell you what, that's good defense. Now they got the pitchfork stuck in their back. Watch the nose tackle. Watch the left defensive end. You got Collins. And there's Thomas. There's the trade. That's why you go to Detroit and you make a trade. You go get one guy or two guys that changes your team, and Henry Thomas changes the New England Patriots football team.
Jeff Jagger will try the field goal of 38 yards.
Oh, it's a fake. It's a fake. They're shifted. Everybody shifted out the other way.
Sauerbrunn is holding, and New England burns. Or did Chicago take the timeout? Chicago timeout. Before, when they tried this on a fake punt, New England called the timeout. Now Chicago has to take one.
Friday and saw New England practicing against that play.
38-yard field goal by Jeff Jagger. And that is good. So the longest play of the game for Chicago, a 34-yard pass to Ryan Whitlock, sets up Chicago's first score of the game. It's 14-3 the Patriots. 3.5 to play in the 3rd quarter. New England leading Chicago 14-3. You've really got to be a Patriot fan to have that put on your tricep. Is that your tricep? What is it?
No, that was bicep. But
bicep.
There's years here where the Patriots got tattooed.
Wow. Mirer, pretty good looking drive. 34 yards to Ryan.
The Patriots got tattooed.
Wow. Mirer, pretty good looking drive. 34 yards to Ryan Whitlock during that drive. Jagger. 38-yard field goal. Ensuing kickoff goes to David Megan, former New York Giant who came here because of Bill Parcells, is out to just shy of the 30-yard line. Returns at 27 yards.
The Yankees in Atlanta are already in the playoffs?
In the playoffs. First and 10 from the 29 for New England. And Curtis Martin grabbed around the ankles and brought down. Flanagan was right there. Boy, has he had a nice game, including a sack.
Well, the entire defense has certainly shut down the running game. And after the way that Curtis Martin ran against the Jets, just nothing going on for him today. 7 yards rushing today. Wow.
Flanagan still coming back from that torn Achilles he suffered last game of last season. Second down 10. Blitz was on. He got a block and he throws outside to Troy Brown, who's had a career day.
Wow. That was almost a touchdown.
He almost busted, but it was pushed out of bounds at the 48. Makes his 5th catch on the day, a career high 116 yards. He has been the main target of Drew Bledsoe.
Well, this is a blitz, so it's one-on-one coverage. You can see 35 blitzing. And he's just running, and he one-on-one. When you blitz, there's nobody to help number 26, John Mangum. And he's lucky he got him down on that one. And again, with all this blitzing and Drew Bledsoe's arm, it ought to be a one-on-one show outside. There's the same play on a repeat.
First and 10 pass. Ben Coates with a nifty move on the side around Barry Minner, and he gets another New England first down to the 27-yard line. Walt Harris finally makes the stop. Ben Coates today has caught it 4 times, first in the second half.
And as big as Ben Coates is, he's a tight end, but he plays in space and can make you miss. And he's now going to run to the flat. Take off to the flat. 1-2 throw. Got a linebacker covering one-on-one. No chance for tough job for Barry Minner. He can make you miss in space, and then he can run over you.
First and 10 pass outside. It's caught by receiver Vincent Brisby. And a great rhythm now is developing with quarterback Drew Bledsoe. That's another first down toss by the quarterback of the Patriots to the 16 of Chicago.
Well, the quarterbacks are going 1, 2, 3. Every route's a diagonal, one side or the other. You're seeing a different receiver, but it's the same route every time with the pick. The wideout is coming down inside and picking the man that's covering the second widest receiver. And every pass you've seen, Kevin, is the same route with a different receiver with a 3-step drop.
Well, you would think that the secondary would start picking up on that.
Well, you got to quit blitzing. You got to quit blitzing. You got to put somebody in the flat to take that.
So
route.
That's the liability.
Right.
First and 10. Bledsoe sacked, brought down.
I think
that is the 3rd sack by Chicago on Bledsoe today. Alonzo Spellman, John Theory make the stop.
I think they knocked Zephros Moss right back into the play. It looked like they collapsed the whole pocket. Zephros is the left tackle. He'll show up right here. Wow, they just shoved him right into him. They shoved. I tell you what, you can shove Zephros Moss. He's bigger than a truck himself.
335 pounds
Woo!
worth of Mack truck.
That's when he's on his diet.
There goes a flag, 2nd and 17. Blitz was what an interception made. It would be the 2nd today by Anthony Marshall if it stands. A flag was thrown as the ball was snapped, and we'll have to see if the interception will stand pending the penalty flag, and it looks like it's against Chicago.
Number 90 on the defense.
Alonzo Spellman.
Dave Wannstedt has got to be going absolutely crazy on the sidelines. How many times has this happened to Chicago today? And a great call, cadence by Bledsoe. Nine Chicago penalties, 6 on the defense, 2 on Spellman.
Well, you go back when they had him in 3rd and 10. They get 2 penalties back-to-back. Give them another chance to keep the ball, keep the drive going. New England has too many weapons, too many great football players to help him. And the Bears doing a good job defensively coming out after him. You got to say one thing. They are aggressive today.
2nd down, 12. Outside it goes. Curtis Martin, and he may have tight-roped for the first down. Inside the 5, they're going to give it to him to the 3-yard line, and the clock will continue to tick. That's a gain of 15 yards. Barry Minner finally caught up with the all-pro running back Curtis Martin.
And the Bears didn't come after him that time. They didn't want to get picked. They knew the ball was going to the flat, so they played a zone. But the New England players are good enough to crack your zone. They're good enough to run right through your zone. Don't forget the 2nd touchdown by Brown. He ran all the way through the zone coverage.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score. New England 14, Chicago 3, and Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages from your local Fox station. Well, when the Bears were the best, that was Super Bowl 20 down in New Orleans. Jim McMahon, the Fridge, Walter Payton, they beat this New England team.
Beat him like a drum.
Yeah, they just ran right over them.
New England didn't have a chance.
We start the fourth quarter with Jerry Glanville, Kevin Harlan. Chicago's defense has been blitzing all day, but bit by bit, New England's working their way down. First and goal at the 3. And the first play of the fourth quarter, Bledsoe hit once, throws, and through the hands of tight end Ben Coates. Incomplete. Playing with some bad ribs. I'm just wondering how high he can reach with that bad, and the Spellman and Bledsoe exchanging some words.
Now, this is an incomplete pass, but guess what? The quarterback makes a lot of money in the National Football League, and he stays in there. This is a great play by Bledsoe. Got people running out at him, knows they're all coming. Wow, he gets whacked. Alonso racked him in the head.
You could feel that all the way up here.
Well, you got to pay guys big money to stand in there like that.
Second down goal at the 3, 8th play of the drive. Coates is on the move. Martin tries to reverse field, and Chicago's defense is there to bring him down at the 5. Ron Cox got him. Linebacker Ron Cox. Now that sets up third and goal.
Watch Carl Simpson. He's 98. He's the guy that plays with his hands. He's right inside. Does the arm over. Comes over. Makes the play. He's going around Zephros Moss like Zephros, went in early. We saw him play real good. Last week, he whips the center, Glover, at Detroit, which I've never seen anybody whip Glover. And I saw Carl Simpson whip him about 4 or 5 times.
Third down goal at the 5-yard line, just into the fourth quarter. Bledsoe hit as he throws by Spellman, who again breaks up the play. Incomplete pass. That's a live ball. No, now they whistle it dead. There was a late whistle, and they whistle it dead.
Bledsoe's pass is ruled
Bears thought it might have been a fumble. Fourth and goal. Here comes Vinatieri, and they're going to try for 3. So Chicago's defense holds again.
Well, I tell you what, and they're holding. Watch 46. That's a backup. That's Marlon Forbes. He's in there running, gets picked up by the center. Big wall of ball hits him, and that turns Spellman loose because the center picks up the little neck guy. Oh, he was calling pencil necks. Don't let your big guys block the pencil neck guys. Big guys got to block big guys.
Vinatieri has made 13 consecutive field goals, the longest streak in the NFL. He came here as an unrestricted free agent. There goes a whistle. They'll stop that play. Vinatieri came here
prior to the snap, offense,
and beat out the legendary Matt Barr. And as a rookie last year, he kicked for Bill Parcells, and now in his second year, kicks for Pete Carroll.
He also kicked in that old World League that Jeff loves so much. Our producer loves that World League. Kicked for the Admirals, Amsterdam Admirals.
Now from 28 yards.
Oh yeah, I see that written right here on your book, Amsterdam Admirals.
I can't even spell that.
Among other things. 27-yard field goal attempt by Vinatieri is up and good. And the cousin of Daredevil Evel Knievel makes it 14 consecutive field goals. Spectacular day for football here in New England. Vinatieri just kicks his 14th consecutive field goal, which ties a Patriot record set years ago by Tony Franklin. And his kickoff, zeroing in on it. Hughes a couple yards deep in the end zone. And Tyrone Hughes is out to the 23. Now on the first field goal attempt, they blew it dead because of a penalty.
Watch the hand right here. This is their punter, by the way, and their third-team quarterback, Tom Tupa, and he gets kicked right in the left hand. And he gets up. He's in a full grimace. And look at the kicker. Oh, are you all right? Did I hurt you?
Well, you know they're laughing about it right now. He's saying, hey, I didn't mean to kick you.
Yeah, you did. I'll get even with you. I won't give you a good hold for 2 years.
Charlie Brown. Oh, shades of Charlie Brown. 1st and 10 for Rick Mirer. First start today in a Chicago uniform. He's on the move and throws. Pass is caught. Bobby Ingram makes his 3rd reception of the day and picks up 9 yards on first down.
When we talked to Rick Mirer, he says, I like to be on the move. I like to be rolling out and running and throwing. So they sort of got him doing a little bit of that this second half.
And they give him a good spot and a first down. Is Mirer the answer?
I don't even know the question.
Raymond Harris in the backfield. Carter, the fullback, in motion, and Raymond takes the ball to the 35. Gain of about 2. Ted Johnson was there again. We've called his name all day. Todd Collins was there, 59. And off the bottom of the pile, Devin Wyman.
Devin Wyman playing. He's a draft pick 2 years ago out of Kentucky State. Huge person. Ex-basketball player. That here is number 72. This guy is huge. Not a starter. Started a little bit last year, but
they platooned him after a while as the season was going on.
And then New England got Henry Thomas. That changed everything. And that put Devin Wyman watching a little bit. But look at the size of him sitting in there. Looks like 2 people.
Second down, 9. Quickly out of the backfield. Harris whacked and then pulled down. Nice coverage. Jimmy Hitchcock. Boy, he got a workout last week. Hitchcock did. He was a nice cornerback. Neil O'Donnell of the Jets threw 50 times against the Patriot defense. 23 of those passes went right at Jimmy Hitchcock.
And Jimmy Hitchcock answered the bell on every play. It's the finest game last week that I've seen Hitchcock play, and I think he motivated all of the rest of his teammates to play better. Here he is getting a good tackle. Guy that went to North Carolina. In fact, his roommate at North Carolina, this is going to shock you, was Natron Means.
And now he's starting for the Jaguars. Hitchcock was the #1 rated quarterback coming out of college, but a series of injuries his senior year pushed him back to the 3rd round.
He's in a blitz.
3rd and 9. Mirer goes up. He's got to get to the 44, and down he goes at the 34. That's the 3rd sack of Mirer today, and it's recorded by Teddy Bruschi.
And they're hollering, brew, brew. That's up Bruschi.
Bruschi, along with Derek Thomas of Kansas City, set NCAA records for numbers of sacks in college.
And Bruschi's very unusual. He's not only a college wrestler, he wrestled in the heavyweight division, but he was a shot put and discus guy. And I like guys that do the shot put because it's quickness across the circle, which translates to quickness on the football field. So he's a shot putter and a discus thrower with that circle quickness.
8th punt in 10 Chicago possessions today. Maggott from the 21-yard line, and the all-time punt return leader for the New York Giants, who is now a Patriot, returns it up as Bruschi is happy on the sideline. And Drew Bledsoe will get it again, leading 17-3. Well, you see a couple of former Seahawks now on the Chicago Bears. Rick Mirer became the 5th quarterback in 5 years, the 5th different quarterback to start for Dave Wannstedt in 5 years. That is not a good record.
No, I think you lose a lot of continuity. It's hard to maintain what you're trying to do with every year you got a new quarterback at the controls.
Started Harbaugh, Walsh, Kramer, Craig, and now Rick Mirer today. Bledsoe's thrown a couple of touchdown passes for the Patriots, and the #1 rated passer in the NFL gets it off to Ben Coates, who picks up a quick 8 out to the 35-yard line. Well, Chicago, Jerry, has stayed in this game today by virtue of their defense. Authored most of the time by Alonzo Spellman, and all on one drive today. He had a sack. He forced a hurry. And then on the next play, he deflected a pass. He has had one of those days that probably is every coach's delight. And of course, this is what his coach Dave Wannstedt wanted to see, because he said he was disappointed in Spellman's play up in the.
In fact, they talked about substituting him, not letting him play the whole game because he was mad at him. Well, he got his attention.
2nd down, 3. Pass is caught. Ben Coates, the tight end, with his 5th reception of the day. He'll be close to a Patriot first down. Right now, McDonald's Game Break. Going back to our Fox Television Center in Hollywood, and here is Joe Buck.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, Brett Favre has tied a personal record with 5 touchdowns in one game. This one, 2 yards to Mark Shimura. The NFL record is 7. It's now a 38-25 lead for Green Bay with 14-12 left in the game.
Thank you, Joe. It's good to see Chimera back in there. Remember, he was hurt early in the season. They thought he was going to be out for more than half the year, but he's back here in week 4. The pass to Coates did result in a first down for New England. The handoff goes to Curtis Martin, who cannot get untracked today. Loses 2 yards on that carry.
Well, let me tell you, Keith Byers is the lead blocker for Curtis Martin, and he gets stuffed. I don't know what's wrong with Sam Gash, but Keith Byers, he got pushed in the backfield. He's the lead blocker. He's got to come in here. Watch him attack Ron Cox. Here's the lead coming in. There's Ron Cox, and there's no place to go. He gets pushed back in the backfield. I wonder why Sam Gash isn't in there. I wonder if he's still injured from that terrible knee injury.
Back in '96, exactly in December last year, hurt the knee, still coming back. Here's a 2nd and 12 play, and it's caught. A flag has been thrown. The reception by Sean Jefferson out of bounds at the 35. That's a gain as it stands right now of 27. But the flag, preliminary call against New England.
Well, Sean Jefferson can flat out run. He can make things happen. He never went out for football until his senior year.
Holding, 64, offense. Still 2nd down.
Wallabout, second penalty on him.
Let's go back to Sean Jefferson. He went out for football his senior year because he was in chemistry class. In his chemistry class, he said all the girls wanted to do was date the guys that were out for football. So he says, I'll go out for football, and maybe I can get a date. Well, he not only got a date, he got himself a career. And he said he got surprised when he was out there for football. The coach said, you may be our fastest guy. He may be New England's fastest guy, and he doesn't have to go to chemistry class anymore.
Well spoken as a chemistry major. That's 2nd down and 22. Halfway through the 4th quarter, that pass is batted down, and a flag was thrown on the near sideline. The Patriots last week were penalized 11 times. Today they've been penalized 5 times, not including this flag on the field now.
I think Spellman batted that ball down. This may be Spellman's. The coach may have got to him a little bit. He's spilling his guts.
He needed to.
Illegal formation. Number 77 was not on the line of scrimmage. The penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Zephros Moss not on the line of scrimmage. I believe Spellman batted this ball down. He's right in here. They're playing him on the nose today. Right hand. Got long arms. Get those arms up high. Got a big reach.
Plays like the guy he used to back up, Richard Dent.
Oh, Richard Dent. He'd do the same, wouldn't he? He's bigger than Richard. Here's a 3-man line by the Bears.
Dent's now playing for Philadelphia. 37-year-old Richard Dent. 3rd and 22 for Bledsoe, right down the middle. He's got to get to the 50, well short of the 1st down. And Troy Brown, who's had a great day receiving, does not get the necessary yards. And New England has got to punt the ball with the clock ticking and 8:19 left in the game.
And Troy Brown goes down, runs a little curl, but it wasn't enough for the 1st down. It's a zone. They're passing off into the zones. He's sitting right on the hash. And a good tackle. Good tackle by Anthony Marshall to come up and make him punt. They had done a job of really getting a team that's loaded with talent out of sync. This does not look like the New England talent.
Tupa sends a rocket into the end zone at the other end of the field.
Well, evidently that hand didn't hurt him too much.
No. That was a wicked punt of 63 yards. Chicago gets it back.
It's exciting. You got a little Baywatch in there. You got a little X-Files. You got a little NASCAR. It's everything that's going on.
On the 20, 1st down and 10 yards to go. Mirer with some play action right through the hands of fullback Tony Carter. We've seen Carter, Jerry, the last 2 weeks, and he has not looked like a good receiver like they profess him to be.
Well, you know, I think maybe see this big horse collar on him. He's got a neck roll on, and sometimes if you get a neck roll on, you look stiff and non-flexible. And last week we saw the same thing. It looked like if I told him to turn around, it may take the whole parking lot with that collar on, and it was thrown behind him, but he doesn't look smooth like he did a year ago.
2nd down and 10. Out of the pocket, Mirer buys him some time, but he is hot and high to Bobby Ingram. You know, when they were making the choice of Mirer, there was a health unknown about Eric Kramer. And they thought, well, we can get in the bidding war with Gerbach out in San Francisco, but if we lose that, then we're high and dry. With Mirer, his value was still very high in the league, and they thought they could trade the number 1 and get him. And they still kind of consider him a rookie with that exchange of the number 1 pick.
Well, you talk about value. There's a lot of teams that wanted Mirer, including the San Francisco 49ers. A lot of people were trying to make a bid and make a run at him. And he wanted to play in Chicago. I think his parents lived 2 hours away, sort of like coming home. Indiana guy.
3rd down and 10. 3 receivers deployed. Great time for Mirer to throw. And down the middle they go, but he got whacked at the last second there. An incomplete pass. Teddy Bruschi came and got Mirer, who was slow to get up and holding that passing hand.
Well, we watched Teddy Bruschi in practice. He walks around with a limp. You think he's never going to play, and you snap the ball, and you got great quickness. Bruschi is a pass rusher that has to be in there. He can beat the big tackle even though he's a little guy. And in practice, I asked the people is he going to be able to play? He's got a big knee brace on. He walks worse than me. They said he'll be fine when the game starts. And he's got quickness.
8th 3-and-out for the Chicago Bears. Sauerbrunn to Megan. There's a flag, and Megan horse-collared at the 47-yard line. Boy, he was hit high and came down hard. That punt had a hang time of 4.1 seconds, 41 yards. It sailed, returned 7 yards, pending the penalty flag. 7.5 to play in the game, and New England leads at 17-3.
Holding number 24 of the receiving team during the kick will penalize 10 yards and will be first down.
And the Bear is down at the 45-yard line.
24 is Ty Law, trying to get the flyer on the ground and threw him on the ground. And that'll get you a penalty when you slam.
Patriots came into today 3-0, and they're looking at 4-0. Leading 17-3, and Dave Wanstead looking at an 0-4 start for his Chicago Bears. 1st and 10. Curtis Martin got it back from Byers, and there he goes. It's a foot race with Mangum. And then Spellman got him, but too late. Touchdown run, and what a run by Curtis Martin.
And when they ran the flip, you could see the alley, and everybody in the stadium, I don't think I've been in the stadium, everybody stood up for the whole run. They could see the alley open up and saw him coming down that sideline. Everybody in the stadium went to their feet.
I love the touchdown run, but I almost enjoyed Alonzo Spellman.
What great effort.
Defensive lineman.
What great
catching
effort.
up with them on the end line.
He tried to stop the touchdown, but great job by Curtis Martin. You just got to keep on. He had a little alley. It's the first time he had any daylight, and he took advantage of it.
Vinatieri for the extra point. Tupa on the hold. A high snap put down. 7:16 to play in the game. 24-3 when the New England Patriots scored 23 or more points. 14-0.
And this keeps Curtis Martin's touchdown run going.
Nice block by Byers.
There's a miss there in the secondary. Now watch out of the left-hand corner. Here comes a big deep. Look at that.
That's a defensive lineman.
Wow. Troy Brown getting a block on Carter. Your wideout's got to help out. Well, that livened up this crowd. And here comes Spellman all the way from up there. Big guy. What an effort. What an effort.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
Look at him. He's going to need oxygen. What a great effort.
He has played a tremendous game. Unfortunately, his Bears, with every trick in the book pulled out. I mean, they have thrown everything at the New England offense they and Dave Wanstead could muster. And they still trail 24-3.
The New England Patriots have players. The New England Patriots have speed. This is a returning Super Bowl team that may be better in talent than they were a year ago.
Vinatieri's kickoff taken by Hughes at the 5-yard line for the Chicago Bears. He's looking to bust one. He hasn't really done one yet. Had a 40-yard return last week, and he takes it up to the 32-yard line right here for Chicago. Next week on Fox and NFL. There's Spellman trying to get his breath. I don't know what more that defense could have done today, Jim.
Now, you got to have some help. The offense got to help you a little bit.
Mirer on 1st and 10. Throws behind his receiver, but nonetheless, the catch is made by Bobby Ingram. That's his 4th today, and he still fights for yardage across the way. 2nd down and about 2 coming up.
And Mike Jones, the right defensive end, got all the way out there. He took a little, chapter out of Spellman's book.
This game from Foxborough today is presented by authority of the NFL, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the expressed written consent of the New England Patriots and the National Football League is prohibited.
Wow, you do that good. You do that better than anybody.
I think your plane's going to take that. 2nd down and 1, and a pass caught for a first down near the 50-yard line. Grabbed by Ingram, his 5th catch today. Not a lot of speed on these wideouts. They miss Curtis Conway, but they can do what they just did right there very, very well.
Well, that's why you see the short routes. You see an out route, you see a slant, you see a little short dig, you see a tight into the flat, but nothing can press past these corners. The corners, you know, you got Hitchcock and Ty Law at the corner. There's Willie Clay at the safety. Too much speed. Can't get past these people.
Harris in the backfield, one tight end, and there's the fullback in motion, Carter. Mirer, the fake, the blitz, the run, the sack, the fumble, and it's loose, and New England picks it up. And falling on the ball, Ferret Collins, who came to the Patriots in a trade with Green Bay, ironically enough, the same team the Patriots played in the Super Bowl, and Chicago turns the ball over for the 2nd time today.
And I think Henry Thomas is the guy that knocked the quarterback down. Great pressure on the quarterback. Mirer tried to run away. Little play action fake. Watch him come towards you.
Here we go.
Boy, there are some good ones, but there are few better than Henry Thomas, who came because of a salary cap problem with Detroit. They couldn't pay him enough money. They jettisoned him for John Randall and Warren Sapp and Bryant Young. He may be right up there at the top 4 in the NFL. 1st and 10 handoff. Jersey untucked as Curtis Martin beginning to pick up steam. He takes it down to the Chicago 34-yard line before he is and a fumble on the play and recovered by the Chicago Bears.
And they had an opening there. Todd Rucci. Rucci hasn't been pulling that much. He pulled on that play, led up through there. Looks like we got a Bear injured, Anthony Marshall,
who's taken the place of the injured Marty Carter. 5:45 to play here in Foxborough. Injury timeout. Over for a 3rd time today on this fumble.
And watch Anthony Marshall, the man that is injured. He sticks his face right in there. Good clean hit. And knocks that ball. The ball's out already. Good hit, but the man doing the tackling that time got hurt. You see right there, he's in a lot of pain.
Watch Flanagan and see if his knee didn't come over and inadvertently get him in the back of the head. And gosh, we've seen this. We saw Steve Young week 1. Jerry, you and I did. San Francisco, Tampa. Hardy Nickerson coming in after a play after the tackle had been made. His knee kicked the helmet off of Young's head. And a minor concussion resulting after that.
The player that got right down there with Anthony Marshall was Brian Cox. Got right down there trying to help him.
But he gets up, and that's a good sign. Marshall was going to be the starter at a position vacated by Mark Carrier when he left because of money to the Detroit Lions. But Anthony Marshall got a hamstring early in camp. Mangum took that job, never let it go, and so he's been relegated to the bench. He is starting caliber, started last year. But he's had to come off the bench and re-earn his position. 1st down and 10. Myers scrambling, hit once, hit twice. Plays Houdini, but 3rd time's a charm for the Patriots, and it's the 5th sack on Mirer today. Henry Thomas puts his stamp on it.
All kinds of pressure on the quarterback. Got away from 2. He did good job getting away from 2, and Henry Thomas came in late. First guy there is Mark Wheeler. Mark Wheeler got there instantly for New England.
2nd down 11. Raymond Harris, who has a little over 60 yards today, works his way for 2 out to the 37-yard line. Again, Henry Thomas is right there. Ted Johnson got a hand on him as well. We're down to 5 minutes to play in the game. Well, New England didn't have the emotional letdown that some people predicted they might after the emotion that filled this stadium against Parcells last week in the Jets.
Well, I think defensively New England just plays so good all the time, and they'll come after you and they'll knock some emotion into themselves. Offensively, the Bears did a good job for a long time on Bear defense going against them.
4 receivers, 3rd down and 8. That's dropped by Tyrone Hughes. The first time they have thrown to Hughes today. That's incomplete. Another punt by the Chicago Bears.
And again, the slant, he's behind. Talking about the quarterback, Mirer's got the slant a little bit behind the receiver. He did that earlier in the game also.
Chicago has only converted 2 third downs in 13 today. This is the 10th punt by Sauerbrunn. Megan is back at about the 19. This is off the side of his foot and out of bounds. Maybe in Chicago territory. It is at the 43-yard line. That punt, I'm counting right here, 7 yards, 7-yard punt.
Wow.
There's Keith Armstrong, the first-year special teams coach. Danny Abramowitz used to be the special teams coach with Chicago. He is now at Ditka in New Orleans.
Offensive coordinator.
As the offensive coordinator. What happened here?
That is a shank of all shanks. That's why I quit playing golf. That's exactly what I would do.
That's a former second-round pick from Sauerbrunn. Bledsoe out, and the new quarterback with the handoff to Mario Greer. And Greer takes it down to the 30-yard line. The new quarterback is Scott Zolak. Handing off to Greer, who picks up 12 yards as the clock winds down here in the 4th. Scott Zolak has had 43 games as a backup. 5 he has started. I guess his biggest claim to fame is that his dad, one time in high school, coached Joe Montana in Monongahela, Pennsylvania. Ron Cox coming out. Looks like he's got a stinger.
Look, cut arm there. Something looks left elbow.
Sean Harris will take his place at a linebacker. 1st and 10 from the Chicago 30. Patriots on top, 24-3. Zolak to Greer again. And the former 6th-round pick out of Tennessee, Chattanooga, mainly a special teams player, takes it for a gain of a couple.
And I love what the Patriots are doing here. They're giving some guys a chance to play. They practice all week to work hard. They know the game's totally under control, and they won't get a good star hurt.
Bledsoe's second 300-yard game this year. Jerry, he accomplished more as a quarterback in NFL history by the time he was 25 than any other preceding quarterback. And he's already made it to a Super Bowl. 2nd down and 9. Hand off to Sam Gash. His first carry of the season. Still coming back from that knee injury. Remember Parcells last year? He was excited to be going to the Super Bowl. But he said, you know, one of the guys that took us up on his shoulders, Sam Gash, can't be there, and that's what hurts me the most.
In fact, I don't think Parcells got any more emotional than he did when he talked about Sam not being able to be a part of that. I think every coach, every hard-nosed coach loves a Sam Gash, and he's got to try to work himself back in there that he can be as good as he used to be.
3rd down and 10. Solak to Gash. Tackled down in the flat by John Mangum. He picks up 4. He'll be short of a 1st down, and this will take us to the 2-minute warning.
That shook up John Mangum. He had a hard time getting up tackling Gash.
The Patriots came into today as one of 4 unbeaten teams in the NFL. They will stay unbeaten with their win over Chicago.
Miller Lite presents.
Mark Thomas and the Chicago defense, highlighted by great play today from Alonzo Spellman, who is in desperate need of a good game. Unfortunately, it's not translating on the scoreboard. 24-3 the New England Patriots. Ron Cox will leave. Jerry looked like he had a left arm injury.
He's holding his hand upright like something's wrong there.
4th down and 6. Zolak taking the place of Drew Bledsoe. From the 27, Zolak to pass for the first time. Slings it out where it's caught by Gash. And he's got the 1st down to the Chicago 17-yard line. Gain of 9.
That should be New England's last pass. They'll just try to chug this ball. Finish up this football game. Again, New England, it's funny, you don't think that the quarterback had a great day. You know, where was Bledsoe? Then you look at his stats. Kind of a silent, real good game for him.
NASDAQ postgame show coming up with Joe Buck and Bill Moss. 1st down and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Mario Greer chased from behind and brought down by Carl Reeves, number 68.
Well, they thought Carl Reeves was going to give Alonzo Spellman a run for his money at right end, but I don't think so anymore.
Today's game produced by Jeff Gowan, directed by Joe Assetti. Studio produced by Scott Ackerson and Nancy Bernstein, directed by Bob Levy and Peter Bleckner. The senior producers of Fox Sports, Bill Brown. The executive producers, Ed Gorin and David Hill. Associate Director Ray Smoltz, broadcast associate Clark Pierce. Our spotter today, Gary Lynn. Our statistician, Pat McGrath. From Chicago. Second down and 12. The Zolak pitch goes to Greer. Tries to cut the corner. Met head on by Tom Carter and Barry Minter. Clock stopped at 1:08. There's Chris Zorich again. We just saw him in the bottom of our screen. Zorich continuing to practice, Jerry, but the thumb is still coming back from a preseason injury, and they hope that maybe next week he'll be activated. There's Chris.
It's hard to play defense if you can't stick your hand in there. One thing for the Chicago fans, the national anthem was from a Chicago resident, Lou Rawls. We had the best national anthem I think I ever heard from a Chicagoan.
Third and 13. Zolak to pass again. And he's got a wide open tight end. Lovett Purnell. Touchdown, New England. That's like the touchdown pass he caught last week against the Jets, which was very big. His second, 7th-round pick a year ago. Lovett Purnell, who replaced the injured Ben Coates last week, makes a mark on this game. And Scott Zolak comes up with the touchdown pass, the 4th of his 6-year career.
I'm kind of shocked that they threw it with the score the way it is. I'm just kind of surprised that they'd throw it for a touchdown there.
Adam Vinatieri on the extra point, and that is up and in. 1:02 to play. It's 31-3 New England.
Fake the play action pass, no pressure on him. Tight end just running across the field. Lovett Purnell did a good job against the Jets, didn't he?
So what do you think about this added on touchdown by the Patriots when the game's already been decided?
Well, when you've coached in the league, you don't like this. You know, I'm disappointed in the Patriots coach. I had to look over there to see if Sam White was standing over there.
Well, you know, Carroll was fairly criticized last week, saying that he was outcoached by Bill Parcells. And there's no doubt there is a tremendous amount of pressure on Pete Carroll, taking over a Super Bowl bound team from a year ago, and with a head coaching pass that only includes a year with the New York Jets.
Well, unfortunately for him, he'll only be judged by what he does in the playoffs. This team was going to the playoffs because of their talent, because of everything that has been built, and the fans really, you don't need to criticize them or look at them until you get in the playoffs and then evaluate. He's hired some mighty good assistant coaches.
Vinatieri to kick off, and it's retrieved by Fabian Bones, a former practice squad player that caught his first NFL reception a week ago against the Detroit Lions at Soldier Field, and he takes it to the 43-yard line for the Chicago Bears. 56 seconds to play in the game. Here's what New England's got ahead of them.
Got that bye week coming up, and then they're at Denver. Remember last year, that was probably their worst show against Denver a year ago, so they'll have a chance to rectify themselves there at Buffalo, at New York Jets. That'll be another one like the last one. They won't be having the canned tuna in New York and Green Bay, but that's a pretty good schedule.
You think that's tough? Look what's ahead for Chicago. Raymond Harris. Mirer stays in as quarterback. He'll gun a pass to the near sideline, caught by wide receiver Chris Penn, picked up in a trade with Kansas City for a 4th-round draft pick. Now the Bears, Dallas next week. Ditka comes back, and that is a must-win for Chicago.
And looks like
Green Bay.
And New Orleans doing good today, beating Detroit. And then they got Green Bay. The best thing Chicago's got to look forward to is that bye week on October 19th.
And then they got Jimmy Johnson at Miami, and that'll be tough just before Halloween.
That's the National Football League. Right when you're struggling, you got everybody injured, nothing good's happening, they throw up a schedule like that at you.
1st and 10. Mirer again with authority downfield, short of the first down, picks up 8. And hits his tight end Ryan Whitman. He has the longest play from scrimmage today for the Bears, a catch at 34 yards.
Cox trying to keep the faith with his teammates, his players. And that's hard for the Chicago Bear fan. If you're sitting in Chicago, you know, and you're a big fan, you get a little upset. You got to try to keep the faith yourself.
Mirer flips it off to Raymond Harris. They pick up another first down. Clock is down to 21 seconds. Bears have 2 timeouts left. New England has 3, but the score tells it all. Chris Penn.
They're going to try to get it in the end zone. Got 4 seconds left.
Timeout by Chicago. 31-3. So they'd like to get perhaps 3 more in there. Maybe just throw it into the end zone.
I'll put it in the end zone. John Thury, first round draft choice. There's the guy that, what a game. And you didn't even realize, sitting up here calling it, because they were blitzing him and sacking him and hitting him and got one picked off. You never realized Drew Bledsoe's stats to the game's over, and he's just good enough to end up winning the football game with his athletic ability and his talent. What a talented guy he is.
Patriots a little sluggish out of the blocks, picking up steam. A good day for Bledsoe, over 300 yards. They go to 4-0. Final play of the game, pending this throw by Rick Mirer.
Cross the line of scrimmage.
Yep. They throw it in the end zone. It's picked off by Marty Moore, but he crossed the line of scrimmage when he threw it. That'll be a penalty on the Bears. That shall be declined, I would assume.
Well, they better say it's over because the players have left.
The bus has been started.
Right.
We have an illegal forward pass on the quarterback. He was beyond the line when he threw the pass. The pass was intercepted. The penalty is declined. The game is over.
Rick Mirer throws a couple of interceptions, and Chicago loses 31-3. Joe Buck and Bill Moss standing by with the NASDAQ stock market postgame show. This has been the NFL on